Welcome to the I'm Such a Pisces podcast, where we talk all things Pisces while taking an explorative journey into astrology.
Brought to you by two Piscean friends.
I'm Christine.
And I'm Shelby. Welcome to our show. And we're on.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy equinox.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even realize.
Yes, we are in the spring equinox.
Yes.
Springing out here.
It's very springy. We really enjoyed the porch.
Yes.
Before this. Or as they say on the friend zone, they say they enjoy the sidewalk.
You're watching the sidewalk now. You know, watching the sidewalk.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
You enjoyed the
I
sidewalk.
enjoyed the sidewalk.
I just sat on the porch.
Shelby actually enjoyed the porch. She enjoyed the sun.
I feel like people that don't listen to that podcast are like, what are you talking about?
It's like if you go to Thanksgiving, here's how you'll know. If you have a Thanksgiving dinner and you and your cousins like to take a little walk down the streets
before the food,
you know what watching the sidewalk or enjoying the sidewalk, you know what that means.
Yes, we're just enjoying the sidewalk.
It's a special time.
Yeah. One day I'll get to enjoy the sidewalk again.
Yes.
Hopefully soon.
Yes. Look, we have things to do though.
That's right.
You know.
Man.
Keith is here with us.
As always.
You know, just
Sir Keith.
We tried to include him, but he proved that he could not handle being here with us today. So he is back upstairs.
Hi, Keith. Everyone say hi to Keith. Oh man, we had a really interesting time. We did so many tangents before we started this episode.
I know.
We really should have started.
We should have recorded and just had all this bonus content.
Yeah,
but okay. It's all right. It's all right.
You guys let us know if you want the Patreon for.
Listen, let us know
the bonus tangent content for later.
I mean, we can get it popping. We can get it popping now.
Yeah. We don't need to wait until we
don't have to have like 1 million followers.
Popular. People make Patreons for right small podcasts all the time.
You just might be really into it, and we want to let you be into it while taking care of us as well.
Exactly.
So, how have you been since we've last seen each other or last recorded?
Pretty good. I've been busy. I had a nice little break from work, and then had to go back to regular, not
back to life,
podcast work, and
right.
Let me just say, the weather is nice. I see people say this on Twitter all the time, but you know how you don't think that you have seasonal depression until it's like 60 degrees outside in February or the end of March, and you're like, oh, it feels like you popped a Molly, and you're just like, yes, everything's great.
Yes, I know exactly what that's like.
That's how I've been feeling. It makes it real hard to do work.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny that this is literally like a thing that happens every year. And yet it feels like, oh my God, going into winter, it's like you try to prepare yourself and you're like, okay, it's going to be different this time.
Yeah, I'm really going to take care of myself.
I'm going to take care of myself, and I'm not going to get as depressed as as last time or whatever. And about midwinter catches you and you're like, all right, when is this shit over?
Deep into our little burrows, our little Pisces burrows.
Like, I'm never coming out. And then, we have, spring equinox that comes. I'm like, oh, hello. And it literally felt like that. So last week we had the full moon in Virgo.
Man, I got so much shit done.
Listen, I can't say that I got shit done, but I did get shit done emotionally.
Yeah, I was going to ask how your full moon rituals went.
I did my rituals. And? I went, and got my black candles and, did my things. And I really felt like the full moon kind of like brought everything to the surface, and then like the equinox coming behind it just kind of cleared it out. Like literally. Yes. Also, the equinox was my birthday,
right?
And so
Happy
like,
birthday, Christy!
Yay! But the energy was just so amazing that day. I mean, like it was beautiful outside. It really was. Like it's just like good energy. So I felt very like uplifted. I'm like, okay, I feel lighter. I don't feel as heavy with all that like stuff on me.
Yeah.
And it was good. So yeah.
Okay.
We're here. We're in Aries season.
We're fully into Aries season. Sadly, it is no longer Pisces season.
It's over, y'all.
But that reminds me. I know we're not in relatable content yet, but I saw. Now I'm going to try to explain a meme because I'm not going to be able to find it. But someone tweeted something along the lines of like Pisces season is for like uncovering all the emotional depths and like really trying to get into some shit, and Aries season just kind of says, okay, fresh start. Like, and that's sounds like exactly what happened. That's how it feels.
Yeah.
So I'm ready.
Just like the end. I mean, and Pisces is about endings, right? Like it's the end of winter, literally right before we come into spring. And so endings and beginnings, like right there, all in the same time. So yeah, I think we're ready, to turn a new leaf, ready to bloom and do all the things, hit the ground running, start new projects. Yeah. All the things.
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
I'm feeling it.
Do you want to see what our co-star has to say about it?
Yeah, let's see what co-star is talking about.
All right.
Am I going first or are you going first?
It doesn't matter to me. I have mine pulled up if you want me to go.
Go ahead. Do it.
I already told you, I looked at it earlier today and it just made me laugh for some reason.
Yes.
It says, the minute you settle for something, you get what you settled for. Oh. The minute you settled for something, you get what you settled for.
Well, look, is that like fake deep or is that like deep?
I don't know.
I'm like, okay, well, that's true. Like, I mean, I settled this. I got what I got.
Yeah, I got what I settled
decided on this and I got it.
It made me think about, and I know this is just because of our episode topic today, but it made me think of like, do you ever go and like have you ever had an experience where you go and you get your hair done and you kind of feel like maybe they're not doing exactly what I asked them to do, and you're looking, and you're like, I'm gonna say something about it, and then you're like, no, I'm just gonna trust the process, and then at the end you're like, this isn't what I wanted. This isn't what I wanted, and I feel like, well, I settled on not being confrontational about it, so I got what I settled for.
I have a very similar experience with things. I will almost like avoid looking at the mirror while they're doing my hair, and I'll try to like gauge from what I feel happening, and I'm like,
does this feel right?
Why would the bobby pin go there? Why is that in a ponytail now, or what?
Wait, I heard some scissors. I didn't ask
like,
for
whoa,
scissors.
wait a minute, the clippers are on. Hold on. Like, what's happening? Excuse me. But I often don't question it. And I know for me, it's because I'm cowering. I'm like, don't want a confrontation. So I'll just go with it.
Ever.
But I am, I don't know if this is like, and I guess maybe particularly women, maybe, when you leave the salon, you always like fix your hair after. Okay, like I don't know if that's everybody.
This isn't. The products aren't right, or
like, they do it, and then you get in the car and you're like, okay, now this is how I like it. Yes,
exactly. Yep. Now the hair lady that I have now, which I'm, we're considering the move and all that, so I'm like a little sad because she's done my hair for the entirety of the time that I've lived in Nashville, except for one time I went and I got some really bad highlights. And it was right before we started working together. And I was like, I have to get this fixed today. Right. I have a job interview. Anyway, and then she was the person who was able to get in and fix it. And she's been doing my hair ever since. But like, I remember the first lady, I remember thinking like, this isn't what I asked for. This isn't. And I'm like, no, just trust it. Because you're like, I'm like, well, she knows what she's doing. Yeah. Or like when I go to get my nails done or something, That, it happens a lot when I get my nails done. I feel
like, okay.
This doesn't look like the picture that I showed you.
Right. It's like, also, you know, it's like, well, maybe their skills. It's just not, maybe they couldn't do that. I don't know.
Yeah. I felt so bad for the man he's been doing my nails for the last couple times I've gone. I asked what I asked for. He got pretty close.
Yeah.
But he was really struggling. I know our listeners cannot see what my nails look like right now. There's little flowers on them, and he was really struggling.
Like daisies? Is that a daisy?
Yeah.
Is that what that design is? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm always like, are those daisies? Yes.
Anyway, he was
cute.
He was
very
really
springy.
Thank you. I was going for spring.
Yes.
But he was really struggling to make the little petals, and I was like, it's fine. No. That one's fine. Like, you don't have to. He would like do it, and then he would take the why am I blanking on what the nail polish remover is called?
Like the acetone?
The acetone, thank you. And then he'd like take it off, and then he'd do it again. And he did it like 3 or 4 times, and I was like, it's cool. I think it looks fine.
It's fine.
But anyway.
I'm sorry, I thought this was an easy design. I
didn't think it was that bad.
Sorry, man.
I didn't think I was asking for anything too crazy. But
didn't ask for a unicorn to be drawn.
Right.
Like, maybe those are easier. I don't know.
Maybe those are just stickers. I don't
know. Right, yeah. Decals, definitely.
But anyway, that's what that made me think of. Oh, I guess I got to give you my do's and don'ts.
Oh, yes.
Do outsourcing.
Okay.
I'm bad at that. So.
Yep, same.
Ask for help or let other people do it.
Please. One day we'll learn.
Right. Helpful hints.
Okay.
I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah.
And schemas.
Oh.
Also not sure about that one, but
can we like talk schemas in the way of our topic today?
Maybe. I think so.
Maybe.
We'll make it, yeah.
I don't know.
Give me some helpful hints. And
Right. I'll give you some helpful hints on how we can do that, I guess.
Yeah.
Let me think. What are your don'ts?
My don'ts are elevator music.
Oh,
so we're keeping it upbeat today.
Keeping it upbeat.
Excuses.
No excuses.
No excuses. And late starts.
Okay.
So I feel like... Did
you master that earlier? We definitely started this late, but you know, that's
But I got here on time.
You got here on time.
So I feel like we're already off to a good start. Yeah. Like I was like, I'm going to get there on time. Maybe it just feels like I'm on time because the sun's out now.
Well, no, you got here on time. We just don't tend to start, and it's usually my fault.
We need the decompression time.
We do we have to catch up before we record.
Right.
But we should really record when we're catching up. Because there's great stuff in there.
The bonus content. Yeah, how much do y'all want to listen to us talk? Because
right.
The content, it's there.
It's there.
We
got it. Might not be astrology related.
No.
Sometimes it is. But yeah, it's there.
I feel like we do have a handful of astrology people listening and people who are interested in it, but I also feel like we have people who are just interested in us talking.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I hope so.
Definitely.
What are you doing here if you don't want us to be talking?
You're listening to a podcast. You know, that's what you reminded me. I'm like, oh, we're just going to be talking. And you're like, it's a podcast. Like, that's what we do. I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, so it's okay that we're talking.
Right.
That's what we're here to do.
It's great. I love it. Christine, what's your co-star giving
So,
today?
let's see. My co-star, now I saw a headline. It was a little more confrontational. Well, not terribly. Let's see. Okay. So it says, oh, I hope the bike people don't get started now. The sun has come out, and anytime the sun is out, they are on these bikes and they are loud. Okay, so co-star says, you must learn how to move through life deliberately rather than running on momentum all the time. And I was like, well, okay.
Okay, that...
rude? Like,
it feels rude, but I can relate to that.
I definitely relate to that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I that was very on point. I hear you. I should, try to find other ways to motivate myself to do the things I need to do.
Just wait till the spirit calls you to do something.
I'm very, I've noticed in my working from home and then working for myself, I think we've talked about this a little bit. You know, the Pisces energy has definitely come out.
True. She's a true Pisces.
A true Pisces. Like, ooh, okay, we do need some structure. And sometimes I'm like, I do need a manager. I need a manager.
Yeah,
I need myself to be a better manager of myself.
Yeah. Hire a little Virgo or a Capricorn manager or something.
Like, somebody, hey, did you do these things today? Like, yes.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Getting right on that. Yes.
I need a boss because Christine likes to let herself off the hook sometimes. And, you know, sometimes that's not great. Yeah. Or it just makes my life harder in other ways. I'm like, you know, you could just not do this. But we have to learn. We have to learn.
Yeah.
So, yep. that was, yep. So, my do's and don'ts. Yeah. Do napkins.
Okay, I'll try not to spill anything, but get your napkins ready.
Right, keep the napkins ready. Veganese. Is that have you heard this?
Yeah, vegan.
Is that like mayonnaise?
Vegan mayo.
Okay. So I should just not have real mayo?
I think it's telling you to do veganese.
Okay.
So maybe I'm reading that as like eat something healthy.
Okay.
Change it up a little bit. Don't be afraid to try something vegan or something different. Where's the lentil cereal?
Girl, no, you know that's what I am not eating lentil cereal. That just every time. So my partner Melissa, you know, is healthy. And sometimes really healthy and, you know, eats lentil cereal. And I'm like, you know, I eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Man,
and if I'm healthy, I eat Honey Nut Cheerios.
Okay, it's really funny that you say that. Jack and I have just recently gotten back into cereal. And I every time I buy a box of Honey Nut Cheerios, but then I buy like a fun cereal. I'm like, let me get this box of Honey Nut Cheerios. Yes. And also Cap'n Crunch. Yes. Or Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Or what else? I almost bought Trix the other day, and then I was like, too much sugar? Maybe. I don't know. It's all the same.
So strangely enough, Trix, we used to eat Trix a lot when I was young, and like, I got tired of it real quick. And then I was like, I don't want Trix. Now, my parents would never get Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Maybe it was too expensive or something. But I didn't have Cinnamon Toast Crunch until I was like damn near an adult.
It's so good.
And I was hooked.
It's so good.
I was on that shit. I was like, oh, this is me. Because like until then, Lucky Charms was my cereal. Even though like half the cereal I didn't want. But
I just want... You know they make a full box of marshmallows
I saw that. I was like, y'all cheating now. Listen, you gotta eat the healthy parts.
The part that has
get
the
through
whole
that part,
grains
right?
Yeah.
You gotta get through it. You can't just eat a bowl of marshmallows.
Yeah.
But yes, the cereals. I like the sugary stuff. Apple Jacks. We did Apple Jacks.
Oh. Reese's Puffs. That's the other one I got recently.
Oh, I have never had Reese's Puffs.
They're really good.
Really?
Have you?
Because I love Reese's, and I'm like, I don't want this to ruin this for me.
It won't.
Okay.
I don't think it will. It doesn't taste like a Reese's.
Okay. So just take that out of my mind.
I mean, it is still, it's the same company, but right. It just tastes
it's not like, Reese's peanut butter.
It is made with Reese's peanut butter. Oh. But to me, it tastes like, have you ever had peanut butter Cap'n Crunch?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, I don't have any other things.
I don't think I've had peanut butter cereal before.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not overly peanut buttery, but you should try it.
I mean, I like peanut butter, so I'm like, and I love Reese's, and I know that's some really high sugar peanut butter. Have you
been on TikTok for the Reese's Puff jingle that came back around as a TikTok sound for a while?
No. What?
Reese's Puffs. That's like how it goes. And then there's a dude in the background going, eat 'em up, eat 'em up, eat 'em up, eat 'em up.
No, I have not seen this.
My whole brain is just like TikTok audios on a loop. So
you spend enough time on TikTok, which is, any amount of time, really.
Yeah.
And you hear these sounds come up over and over, and you're like, all right.
They know what they're
just
doing.
Loops in your head. And the next thing you know, you're singing TikTok.
Reese's Puffs.
Puffs. It happens, all the time to me.
I've tangented so far. I'm so sorry.
No, it's
Get back to your
no.
days.
We started with vegan A's, and
vegan
then
A's.
we got to cereal and TikTok, so we're good. If I can still trace it back.
That's the
because
part.
I cannot. I get lost.
Episode 5 is where I was having a hard time tracing it back, but today I think I can get there.
We're still there. Aimless strolls.
Ooh.
No, I have not taken an aimless stroll today, though. I should have. I missed the opportunity.
We'll see what time We'll see what happens. Time it is. Yeah, we might get through this.
We'll see.
We're trying to cut our episode times down.
We're trying. We'll see how we do today.
I'm not helping.
I don't know. I'm like, we'll see.
Okay.
I'm not going to put any pressure on us. Okay, well, let's go with our downs. Mm-hmm. Bad habits. No bad habits.
Okay. I wish y'all could see Christine's face. She's
trying to make sure, like, did I do
around.
Bad habits today?
Have you eaten more than one meal today?
No. I have not. But I have eaten. Okay. So that's good because usually that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, okay. That's a start. And we did start drinking wine, so I'm glad to know.
Yes. I'm not going to,
Melissa's out of town, so don't let me leave you here, wine drunk with no food, okay? I can make you some dinner.
Just call and check in later. Like, what am I doing? I've selectively decided to, imbibe on the rest of my goodies from last weekend this weekend. So I'm like, okay, let's just get to the weekend.
Yes.
And then you can have fun.
Yeah.
Just take it easy.
Habits.
Take it easy. No bad habits. Don't seclusion. It's no seclusion. We're here together. So I'm not alone.
I'm not secluded. For podcast recording.
Yes. And no bartering.
Oh, okay. Well, I won't try to barter with you.
We're not making any exchanges. That also makes me think about what we were just talking about before you pressed record with Instagram. No bartering. Like, okay.
No, okay. No bartering. All right.
So we should just accept. The price is the price. Yesterday's price is not today's price either. So
okay.
We will see. Right. Anyways,
noted.
That's the end. That's the end of my co-star.
I love it. For the sake of making my life easier when I chop up the audio later, I'm going to take a real quick break.
Let's take a break.
All right. We'll be right back with relatable content.
After these messages.
And we're back.
We back. All right. And we're ready for relatable content.
We're ready for relatable content. What you got for us?
Got a little smorgasbord of things today.
Okay.
So it's today. Okay, so we're recording episode 7 today. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm referring back to episode 3 or 4.
Okay.
But, so we're talking about attraction. So I know we were talking about people that we attract a lot. Oh, even back to episode...
Is that episode
4? 3 or 4.
So 3 was compatibility, 4 was sex.
Both of them. Mm-hmm. So I think we talked about, I have attracted a lot of Virgos and Scorpios, right? Yes. And so this is kind of related to that. So it's what the universe is trying to teach you when you attract certain signs, or a lot of a certain sign, right?
Oh man, this is gonna be interesting. Okay.
So, if you're attracting a lot of Aries, the universe is trying to teach you how to be more selfish.
just had the whole conversation. Sorry, tangent.
No,
make it real fast.
Go ahead.
I was just talking to you about how my partner, I've gotten him into astrology now, has a lot of Aries placements, and I feel like he has helped me to be like if I'm at a place and a thing is happening, and my nails are getting done, and I'm like, that's not what I asked for. That's not like to actually say something, and just to be like, oh yeah, it's fine. You don't have to be rude about it, but you're allowed to say this is what you want. This is what you don't want, and I feel like that makes sense. Taylor also is good about helping me be
being very direct.
Hey,
very
tell him if it's not the thing, that's not what you ordered. Hey, she didn't order that.
Yes. And see, this is why and further tangenting, this is why I don't think Melissa is a Pisces rising. And I know we haven't mentioned this on the show, but I could see an Aries rising even. Yeah. But
we're trying to figure out her birth time.
Yeah,
we don't know it.
she got a birth time from her mom, and that was wrong.
Yeah.
We've decided that
there's no
the rising sign is incorrect.
No
so there's more information is to come. We need to see the birth certificate because that's not it. But very good at I'm like, oh, just let it go, like whatever.
No, please, I don't want to confront anyone.
Right, because we feel like saying anything means that we are being confrontational or rude.
Exactly.
Versus other people are like, yeah, you just say, actually, no, that's not it. Yeah. That's not what I asked for. And we're like,
in a nice way.
Right.
That's what it is. Right.
So, very Aries.
Yeah.
So, Aries is our, it's the sign that rules the first house, the house of self. And so, taking up for yourself, speaking up for yourself, all of those things. Okay, so if you're attracting a lot of Tauruses, the universe is trying to teach you how to be more stable and firm in who you are. So also similar, right?
Very relatable,
yes. Yes.
Yeah, I love it, Taurus.
Yes. And look, so this also made me think about when I read that, my North Node is Taurus, which we will talk about in future, but as I get closer to 40, that North Node becomes, I guess, more present or something. So becoming more firm in who I am and you're gonna be different from people around you. Yeah. It's okay. Just be you, man. So that's Taurus.
I like it.
Yeah. So if you're attracting a lot of Geminis, the universe is trying to teach you how to be more vocal and open to different perspectives. Seem like it makes sense?
Yeah, all of these things are very subtly different, but kind of feel related. And I also feel like I've attracted a lot of all of these signs in my life at some point.
Okay.
Not necessarily in relationships, but friendships or
yeah. And that might even be, this might not even just be romantically. It could just be people that you if you attract a lot of a certain type of friends. Yeah, I think that's very, very true.
Yeah.
If you're attracting a lot of Cancers, the universe is trying to teach you how to be more in tune with your feelings and ancestors.
You notice I don't have any Cancer friends.
Yeah, no.
Well, I don't want to say I don't have. I have some Cancer. I know some Cancers who I think are really cool people. Who, but we're not. We're not close
not friends. Yeah.
They're if I saw them in a bar, I'd be like, oh my god, it's so good to see you.
Right, but we're not I'm not calling you to go to the bar.
Exactly.
Together.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
But I feel you. I feel like we're probably pretty in touch with our feelings.
Yeah.
Water signs not necessarily attracting more water signs.
Right. It's there's enough of this over here. I don't have time for your feelings too, friend. No,
right.
I'm kidding.
I'm not.
It's that's enough.
And I'm a social worker? Damn. Okay.
I just need a break. Yes. There was something I was going to say. It left, so we're going to move on.
Okay.
No, it's fine.
Let me know if it comes back.
Yes. If you're attracting a lot of Leos, the universe is trying to teach you how to let your inner child shine.
Aw, that's cute.
Yes. So one of the things I've been learning about Leo also is that Leo is very playful. And very I've seen them related to a child. I've also Pisces gets related to being childlike, and Aries get related to being childlike. I guess all for very different reasons, but yeah, Leo and your child self.
Yeah. Interesting.
want to show off and look at me. Look at me.
Is that like self-importance or like the value? I don't know. I don't want to say like, I don't want to make it sound like kids are little narcissists or anything, but like, you know, they just, it's hard for them to, they're like, hey, look at me, I'm important. And they are.
And they are. And I mean, I think that's very much about, you know, true about how we come into the world. Like, it is us, right? Like, and we have to learn, like, oh, there are other people to consider out here. Because I'm like, I'm just trying to get my needs met.
Exactly. Those needs shouldn't all, you know, there's time and a place for everything.
Right.
Sometimes you have to consider your own needs over other people's.
Yes.
Sometimes you got to consider
other people's needs first, you know, and there's a balance, and we come to learn that over time. And sometimes, you know, maybe Leo has to learn from like another sign. I'm trying to think of what their opposite is, because it's probably that sign that they need to learn from, to learn like, okay, we're gonna like commune more, we're gonna share, we're gonna community,
share your toys.
Yes. So next, if you're attracting a lot of Virgos,
Christine,
me, the universe is trying to teach you how to be more organized and grounded.
Yeah.
And this is very true. It's something I've stated before. I think, you know, I'm often trying to attract that energy into my life, because we know that, you know, as I've said just a few minutes ago, this can be like, just a little too much flow, you know. It's like with too much flow, like, all right, well, you were flowing and you didn't get these things done.
You were feeling the vibes, and
you were vibing too much today.
Your chakras were very aligned,
everything was balanced.
It's giving Lauryn Hill trying to show up for a concert.
Oh my god, that just took me down. Oh my god,
I meant it in
a
good way. I love Lauryn Hill.
Lauren's too much vibe, okay? Like, we need you to get to the show. We need you to get here on time, please. Like, any semblance of on time, ma'am. Yes. So, I mean, you know, this very much makes sense to me. I'm like, I know why I attract Virgos, because I need that balancing energy.
Absolutely.
Because I am, you know, again, all Pisces over here. So, okay, I also found out that you can be like a triple, like you can be a sun, moon, and rising of the same sign. And I didn't think I realized, I don't think I knew that. I think I questioned it, and I'm like, what? If there are any Pisces, sun, moon, and rising,
please let us know.
Please tell us about your life.
I know someone who is a triple Scorpio.
My God.
And wow. It's something else. Anytime anybody is 3 of the same sign in their big 3, it's like any sign. It doesn't matter what sign it is.
That's a lot going on.
It's gonna be a lot.
It's a lot.
You need to balance out.
It's like having 2 of the same is enough. It's enough. I'm like, I almost wish Pisces was the rising, but I don't know. I don't know what that would make me like. I don't know. I'm like, the sun and the moon, especially the Pisces moon is it can be tough. It's wonderful, you know, in some ways, and you know, in some ways, I feel exasperated by it.
Yeah.
Very tired.
Yeah. A lot of the time.
A lot of tiredness. All right, let's keep moving. All right. If you're attracting a lot of Libras, the universe is trying to teach you the value of relationships and compromise.
Oh, okay.
Had a few of those.
Yeah.
You know, including my partner.
Yeah. that hopeless romantic energy.
Yes. Lots of relationship. Listen, and when I feel like that, you know, again, that Aries Venus that's like, it's been too long, I need to get out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Where's my
grounding.
Secret fling?
Right. Where is my secret fling? like, well, you know, let's just ground ourselves. Also, she's a Virgo moon, so yep. Grounding energy. Come on back, sis.
You got it. I get it.
Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. If you're attracting a lot of Scorpios, the universe is trying to teach you how to let go of things and be in tune with your dark side. Get in touch with the dark side.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've been there, done that. I'm good.
Yeah,
I got what I needed out of that.
Got that. Got all the darkness. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So if you're attracting a lot of Sagittariuses, the universe is trying to teach you the value of exploration. Sagittarian friends trying to get you to get out there, adventure, explore.
Yeah. And I've got a couple. I've got a couple of good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do that.
they pull me right on out.
Yep. Out of the shell.
Because they know we like to hide in it. Like, oh, you want to go do something. All right.
All right.
You want to just come to the house?
Yeah.
No?
You want to just chill?
Right.
No, we're going out.
We're going out. Oh, okay.
Going out.
Put on clothes. All right. All right. Let's see. If you are attracting a lot of Capricorns, the universe is trying to teach you about the value of structure and discipline. Also, I don't have a lot of Capricorns in my life, but I do have a couple. And again, very similar to the Virgo. Virgo is a little tougher on me in particular. Like the criticizing or like the judgment that comes from Virgos. It's slightly different with Capricorns. Like I feel like Capricorns can be...
They're really like about their own business.
Yeah.
They're not really about anyone else's business.
They're not right. They're not trying to tell you what to do with yourself.
They're modeling.
They're modeling. Absolutely.
They're a good model to have.
Absolutely. It's like, oh, well, I want to ask them about what they're doing now because they're modeling it for me versus Virgo is like, you need to be doing this.
Shoving it down your
why
throat.
Are you doing this? And da-da-da-da-da. Very critical. Because they're critical on themselves, which is also what I realized.
It's a lot of projection. Yeah. Oh, man. I've had so many conversations with a friend recently. His partner is a Virgo. And I'm just like, oh, yeah. Christine's got things to say about Virgos. Because I don't know that many in real life. I said that like they're really good unicorn or something.
They're mythical beings.
Right. But now that I do know a few and have had, like, heard their experience with Virgos, I'm like, oh, yeah. Save for the ones I like dated way back in the day, but it's been a long time and you know, we're not really in communication anymore, so yeah. Anyway.
I mean, and you know, like I have the shade, but like obviously I love Virgos.
Yeah. Whether
clearly,
you like it or not.
Whether I like loving them or not, I clearly can't get enough of them. Yeah. Keep calling them to me. So there's that.
Still got something to learn.
Still got clearly. Look, if you saw The Office right now, though it does not look the way it looks technically because of me, but there will be organizing happening this weekend while Melissa's gone. Hopefully, I'm hoping I can like do the whole Office.
Ooh. Well, this episode will come out way beyond that. So
right, like
if she listens, she'll know the intent was there. Even
the
if
intent was there. Things. I'm gonna do things.
Huh.
I'm gonna find more than the momentum.
Yep, there you go.
And we're gonna get things done right.
Hey, what do I do here?
Somebody call me at 3:00 and see if I've done these things today.
I'll set an alarm before I leave the house.
Right.
Today. Like, hey, did you?
Call me at 3 on Saturday or text me like, did you do these things? Like, okay. This is when Pisces disappears. Oops, sorry. Didn't have my phone. All right, let's do the last two. If you're attracting a lot of Aquariuses, the universe is trying to teach you the value of detachment.
Okay.
And this makes sense of the Aquariuses that I have known, romantically at least, or like in that area. Not necessarily my friends, but also kind of like my Aquarius friends. Kind of like, girl, you need to let that go.
Yeah.
You need to just cut that off. And then I don't listen. And then I'm like, yeah, I sent one more text.
Well.
And they're really great with me. And like, all right, you done? Are you done? You done now?
I don't have a lot of close Aquarius friends, but I know a couple of people, kind of same thing. Like, I know them, but I wouldn't say we're like close friends or whatever. But
yeah,
I also don't feel like I need a lot of help with detachment.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like, I got that.
You've got the Gemini moon, and I feel like that is like helpful, and like, I can kind of detach when I need to, like, nope, I'm only going to go as deep as I want.
Yeah, I do. I feel like I do. I can do that. I can do it. Sometimes to a fault. Anyway.
Yep. I hear you. All right. And last, but so definitely not least, if you're attracting a lot of Pisces, the universe is trying to teach you the value of compassion and forgiveness.
Aww.
That's us.
Yeah.
We're very compassionate and forgiving.
So if you've attracted us to you via
maybe
podcast,
that's what you're trying to.
or real life.
See, and so now I didn't think about on the other end of if someone's attracting me or a lot of people like me.
You got two coming through your ear holes right this second.
Right. You've attracted this podcast into your life. Need some compassion. Okay. So I know this week has been like maybe a little heavy, like energy wise, maybe even last week as well. And so I found some grounding practices for your moon signs.
Ooh, okay.
And so it's just little lists. And so I'll just read them really quick. And, people can find, whatever your moon sign is, find some activities to ground. So we'll start with Aries. Okay. Remember, this is your moon sign.
Moon sign, not sun sign.
Not your sun sign. So Aries, exercise, sports, sex, facials, head massage, any kind of fire element, so candles, fireplace, and savory food.
Ooh, okay.
Nice.
Okay.
So our Taurus moons, baking, gardening, having a bath, home decorating, hiking, coloring books, dance, and singing. These are grounding for you all.
Yeah.
So Gemini moon, this is you. Reading, talking, podcast or audiobook.
Yeah, I love a podcast.
Yes. Driving, puzzles, crafting or handiwork.
Not so good at that.
Or strength training.
Oh, okay. I do all of those things. I guess I don't know. I like a craft occasionally. I just don't have a lot of patience.
I understand.
I don't have the patience or like the finger dexterity for
there's a lot of little tiny things in crafting. Like we will just have to find you the right craft. That's all. That's all. We'll find it.
Yeah. Okay. That was helpful.
So Cancer moons. You want to cook a bath, family time, journaling, rest, decluttering, cleaning, and soft blankets. All very nice. Grounding, right? It's very cozy. Leo moon, journaling, art, dance, exercise, beach time, making candles, spa treatments, music, and the sun.
The sun.
That sun. Yeah, that's for me too.
Yeah, same. I'm not a Leo moon, but
right. Like I can get with the sun. Virgo moons, writing, yoga, planting, organizing and decluttering, cooking, podcasts, and reading.
Okay, those are a lot of the same ones as mine. Yeah.
Mercury, Gemini and Virgo share the same planets.
Got it.
Makes sense.
That does make sense.
Good pointing that out.
Well, good knowing that information so that we can make something out of it.
Let's see. Okay, Libra, massage, beauty treatments, cuddling, flowers, conversations, art, reading, and poetry. Sounds very much like my partner. She's a Virgo moon.
I was just thinking that, but then I was like, not
Libra
sun sign.
Right. I'm like, that is very her sun sign. Scorpio, a good cry, journaling, sex, hug a tree, exercise, painting or drawing, and playing music.
Okay.
Now, I think, did I see that? No. Okay, it's not in Cancer. I was going to say, I think the water signs are usually all like big music heads. But then it doesn't say that for Cancer, so I guess not.
Shoot. Well,
maybe just to make the list.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to Sagittarius. Hiking, nature, meditation, learning something new, animals, driving, activism, and documentaries.
Okay.
Yes, documentaries.
I know I don't remember what episode that was, but we talked about that.
My obsession with documentaries.
Yep.
All right, 3 more. Let's go to Capricorn. Gardening, walking, breath work, creative visualization, vision boards, and stretching.
Stretching.
Very good. Aquarius, volunteering, bird watching. Underrated. Underrated. Nature, reading, yoga, qigong, and breath work, music, and water. I hope I said. Is it qigong? Qigong?
Qigong?
Is it qigong?
I don't know.
Qigong?
You might be saying it the correct way, but I've heard people say qigong.
Okay, is it qigong? Okay.
But I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just
It's
white people,
Kiwi.
so I don't know if they're saying it right.
Are the white people saying it right, or like I don't know.
Yours sounded like more.
It's QI, right. So I usually say key, and I don't know if that's right. I don't know.
I have no idea. But we're talking about the same thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Slow movement.
Almost like Tai Chi.
Yeah.
Like similar vibes, I think.
Maybe I'm just mixing those two things up. Maybe I'm just...
And I'm not sure because I can't tell you exactly what Qigong is. But I assume that it's something like Tai Chi. That's what I think of.
I think it is.
I think it's like a slow movement practice.
This is like what were we talking about that one? Menageries?
Yes.
Where I just guessed and I was like, yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. I am retaining some information some of the time. Well, that was good though. I liked that.
Yeah.
We should.
Oh wait. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't read Pisces. Pisces. I left us off. Okay. Pisces. Bath, art, music, crystals, sweets, especially chocolate, movies, dance, and reading poetry.
That's not. As soon as you said baths, I was like, "Yep."
A good bath. Get in the water.
Okay. Sorry, I did look it up.
Yes.
It is. It's the same.
It is this. Okay.
It's not the same, but some people it's spelled different. Like sometimes it's spelled Qigong, or sometimes it's spelled Qigong or Qiang. But it is very much like Tai Chi. It's just like slow body movement.
Yeah. Okay.
So we were on the right track.
We're in a good place.
Sometimes.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think the last thing in our relatable content today, I have some just like varied things. I have this deck called the Spell Deck.
Ooh.
And I left the actual deck upstairs where I would tell you who created it. But really cool. If you're into a little more of the witchery and things like that.
Yeah.
It's got different spells, different rituals, things like that. But since we were talking about Venus today, I pulled the Venus card, and so there is a little bath. And so I was just going to read, this is great for the beginning of spring too, I feel like.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to read this.
Yeah.
And if you all want to use it, awesome.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so Venus, planet and Roman goddess of love, aesthetics, fairness, and abundance. Also known as Aphrodite in the Greek pantheon, Venus radiates and inspires grace, sensuality, and devotion. Venus rules over the astrological signs of earthy Taurus and airy Libra. Invoke Venus's charm on a Friday to boost your levels of self-love and magnetism. Draw a warm bath. Add pink, red, or white rose petals, along with a pinch of dried herbs, such as jasmine, lavender, or lavage. And add a splash of milk and drops of sumptuous honey. Soak up these sacred herbs and celebrate the beauty of your exquisite body.
Ooh.
So I thought that was a great like way to flow into our topic for today, Venus and our
we're recording
aesthetics
on a Thursday, and tomorrow's a Friday.
Ooh.
So maybe I'll take a sexy bath on a Friday.
Yes, get you some rose petals and some honey and some herbs.
I'll have to do it at my in-laws' house because that's where we're going to be tomorrow.
Right.
But whatever.
Taking a sexy bath in my in-laws' house.
They've got a nice bathtub.
Yeah. Hey, I would, because I live for a nice bathtub.
I will take a bath anywhere and everywhere, okay?
Yes.
I'll spray it down first to make sure it's clean, but oh man, I love a bath.
I'm going to get in there. Yeah. A nice deep tub. Yeah. We were talking about that this weekend, and I guess it's kind of related to what we're talking about today, but eventually we're going to change out one of the tubs, I think, with another tub. I don't know what's happening now. I think something has changed, but one of the tubs, we're going to get a deep tub. And so we've been trying to find one at a decent price because they can be pricey.
Yeah. My in-laws redid their bathrooms. Well, they moved into it. They downsized their house and then kind of redid the bathrooms, and they have like a big, nice full-size shower downstairs, but one of the bathrooms doesn't have a shower and it just has a standalone like clawfoot tub.
Oh yes,
so sexy.
Yes,
I'm obsessed, and I will it'll be a long time before I have enough money for one, but like
like a big porcelain. Oh yeah, those things are
so
incredibly pricey, but wonderful.
Yeah. It's a clawfoot tub, but it does at least have the little shower attachment. So it's not like attached to, like you can't stand up and take a shower, but you do have like the rinse.
Okay.
Yes.
Option, like, I'm here for it.
Shower head thing, which, you can use in all kinds of ways.
Yeah. Listen, I remember I went on a work retreat once and my room had a clawfoot tub and I was like, bye. Like I was in that thing, like gone.
No nightlife at this conference. Straight baths every night.
In this bath, like yes.
Love a bath.
Like, Christina, are you coming out? Not right now.
No, I'll be here. For a while. Well, that was good, relatable content.
Yes.
You want to take a quick break?
Let's take a quick break.
Come back for the meats.
The meats.
All right, we'll be right back.
Welcome back.
Hey, let's get into our topic today.
So today we're talking about something that's very exciting for me.
Yes.
We're talking about Venus and style and aesthetics and beauty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sort of a fun little episode.
I think so.
We had some serious notes last episode, so we thought, and our next episode's going to be pretty fucking serious.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd try and balance it out with something fun and talk about personal style and Venus and all that fun stuff. So, where do we want to start?
So I'm going to give just a little blurb about Venus in this particular frame of mind, if you will. So it says, the influence of Venus in your chart indicates how you relate to the opposite sex, whether you're popular or make friends easily, and also what artistic leanings you have. It rules your ability to love and share with another person, and also governs your choice of gifts, cosmetics, flowers, and art objects. Being the planet of pleasure, it points to the kinds of amusements you're drawn to and what ways you like to spend your money. So that was a little, just a little extra, but we're going to get into a lot about our own personal style and aesthetics, the way we like to decorate our spaces. So that's what we're getting into today.
Okay, well, let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
So we're going to kind of start off with talking about looking at personal style.
Yeah.
And you put a little note in here about your rising sign.
Yes. So one of the ways that we look at personal style is through our rising sign. And if you think about it, your rising sign is that persona. Again, it's that image that you put out to the world. It's the way you express your your insides to the world. It's that lens. And so the way we adorn our bodies, the way we clothe ourselves is a big piece of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at our rising sign and then the planet that governs our rising sign, which is our chart ruler, and the house that planet resides in our chart.
Okay. I also just realized I literally do this all the time. I already made a mistake when I, off mic, was telling you what house it was in.
Yeah.
It was wrong. So I'm back now. I've got the correct thing.
All right.
Oh, no, wait. Maybe I did have it right. So it's your rising sign. So my rising sign is Cancer.
Mm-hmm.
The governing planet of Cancer,
which is the moon, which we know is not a planet, but Cancer is governed by the moon.
Okay, so I just want to look at where the moon is in
yes.
my chart. Okay,
what house is the moon in your chart?
I did have it right. I'm sorry, I was confused.
You're good. Oh, yay.
Also a Gemini moon, so I was like, wait, did I get those confused again?
See, yeah.
I had it right.
And the houses, so, yeah, and understand, like, in the beginning, a lot of this stuff gets a little confusing because you have the natural ruler of the house, like that, that particular house. But then you also have what rules that house in your chart, which may be very different.
Yes. Yes. Ooh, there's so much to look at. And I'm just like, it's really fun how many different aspects there are, because I think it's just like human personality is incredibly complex, and there's a lot of nuance.
Absolutely.
But I still have my moments where I'm like, wait, is that right?
It's like, wait, let me go back. Hold on.
Okay. I got it. So my moon is in the 11th house.
So, since you're on the Sanctuary app, tell us what the moon in the 11th house tells us. I'm going to pull up mine.
I will. So, the moon in the 11th house says individuals with a moon in the 11th house are altruistic, relying on validation from their community to feel secure.
So, my moon is also in the 11th house, so I have a very similar note.
Okay, so to me, this makes sense because I feel like while I do have a personal sense of style, I also tend to like try my best to keep up with trends. And try and keep up with like what's cool, and like think about how other people are like dressing differently based on the environment and how people are going to perceive me. So yeah.
It's like, oh, that connects. Wow, I didn't even think about it in that way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
What
about so your rising sign is Taurus.
So my rising sign is Taurus, and the ruler of Taurus is Venus, which is my chart ruler. And so when I saw this, I was like, oh, so Venus is my chart ruler. This makes sense for many reasons. One, relationships. Two, just like aesthetics. And that's like, I have loved like all things aesthetics, honestly, since I was like a small child. Like literally, I was the child that when my parents were building their home in the 90s, talking about dating yourself. Like when they were building, we would go to, the different showrooms and galleries and things like that. And I loved it. Yeah. Like lighting galleries, my favorite.
Oh man.
My favorite.
That's so funny to me because as a kid, I was just like, get me out of here.
Yes.
I do not want to be here.
And I had a sense that maybe like most kids probably aren't like into this kind of stuff, but I love a chandelier.
Yeah.
Like I love different light fixtures and things. Yes. Like even when we would go to Home Depot, I would be like, well, can we go to the lighting section because there are all the cool lights?
Yeah, let me look at all the cool lights.
Like that was just really my thing. Strangely enough, but I was into it. Like, I mean, the showrooms where you look at like the different tubs and all that kind of shit. Like, I loved it. Furniture galleries, loved it. And I still I love to go to Restoration Hardware as an activity.
I will go and get myself a glass of wine and walk around and look at the rich people furniture.
Listen.
Right.
honey.
But if I move and I'm gonna like fly you up and be like, all right, tell me what to do with the house. Like, where do I put everything?
No, I would love it because it's just like it's a passion. Like I could go on so many tangents, and I will try not to go on too many during this episode. But of like all the ways that aesthetics has been a part of my life for forever, and then it's like, oh, you realize it later, like, oh, okay, this is a theme. Mm-hmm. Like, yep. How did I not get here before? But yes, I will not take us on any more tangents at this moment.
No, it's okay. I was just trying to get prepared for our next little piece.
Yes.
Because you also mentioned that planets in the first house
mm-hmm.
have to do with like your personal style, aesthetic.
Yes. So, do you have any planets in your first house?
I don't have any planets in my first house, and my first house is also ruled by Cancer. So I really give a lot of fucks about trends and, whatever's happening.
Yes. So I also don't have any planets in my first house. My first house is Taurus, mm-hmm. Which like understanding like, oh, Taurus, Venus connection also, mm-hmm. When we get into what my Venus is later, all of this has come together like, yeah, I see that. Mm-hmm. I see that. I see the things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, or my Venus is in the 12th house. Okay. That was the other thing.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the things that I was learning this week when I was researching was people are really nervous about having planets and things in the 12th house, and I didn't know that.
Oh, because it's like the house of
like death and like endings and like what else did I read? It was something really interesting, and I have like 3 planets in the 12th house, and they're Mercury, Venus, and Mars. All of them,
wow,
are in the 12th house. And
are you real comfortable with death?
I've become a lot more comfortable with death.
Yeah.
Also, tangent. One time, where was it? I think when we were on the way to Belize, mm-hmm. we were on the plane. The lady, Melissa, again, socialites.
Yes, always, forever.
Social butterfly, starts talking it up with the lady that's in the row with us. And she tells us that she's a death doula. And I was like, that is fucking cool.
Such a
I'm
cool
like,
job
okay,
title.
Now I'm into it. Tell me all the things.
You've told me about this before, and I just think that's such
yes.
Really, I mean, you have to, and people who work in hospice and, stuff like that, you just really have to, give a lot of yourself to attach yourself to people, and then talk about practicing non-attachment.
Yeah, right, right. A very Aquarian kind of thing, huh?
I keep trying to convince Jack that we need to adopt, old dogs.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Give them a place to be and love them for the last few years of your life. And he's like, I can't. I literally can't do it.
That's a tough one.
But I want to. I feel like it's good practice for getting comfortable with your own mortality.
Yeah.
But it's also really hard. Anyway, another tangent on a tangent. Sorry.
I'm like, I have thought about this myself before. I'm like, yeah, you already don't do well. Literally, my friend that was here on Sunday was talking about that. He's like, yeah, you were messed up about that dog. Well, and I was like, yes, I was fucked up.
Sir, thank you. I did take bereavement from the call center job.
I sure did. Yeah. I sure did take a day off. I sure did. I was like, I'm not coming in.
I think I would have to take a whole week off. I'm not fucking around.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a family member. And I'm like, if they had a bereavement policy for pets, I would have taken more time off.
Yeah.
But I feel like, it was after. This is when I was, it was a tax place. So, taking off during tax season is like a no-go.
Yeah.
But it was post the big filing day. Anyways, yeah, I was messed up over that dog. I sure was. But yeah, a lot of planets in the 12th house. But this article I was reading last night was talking about how modern astrology has really kind of not overhauled the image of the 12th house, but also kind of given some more some more to it, that it's not as scary,
levity
as
perhaps.
People tend to feel. Because I'm like, oh fuck, I got 3 planets over here. Like, what does that mean? Including Venus. What does this mean for my love life? Like death. This is why it's not.
Death this is for your love life.
Death for your love life.
I have hope for you. I have hope for you.
I hope so. Anyways.
All right, what else we got?
So our planets are in our first house. So we don't have any, but we do have our ascendants. And so what are your thoughts? Do you feel like, just so far before we get further into, our information, do you feel like Cancer and the moon like govern the way you style yourself, the way you style like your spaces and things like that?
Yeah, I think so. And just thinking about like Cancer as a persona, like my house, I feel like I try to think about it in terms of like, not, this is gonna sound bad, but it's like not necessarily always it's not always about me. It's about like, when people come over to my house, are they gonna feel at home? I want people to come into my house and feel like comfortable and at home, and like they can just,
You're like, so I was looking at this and I was like, oh, Shelby's home is very Cancerian. Really? Yes, like it's very comfy and like cozy, and like it feels very warm. Like you come in and you're just like, oh. It's very homey. I love it. Like, I'm like, oh, this is. I read that. I was like, yeah, definitely.
Thank you. That's such a nice compliment.
Yes.
I feel like, actually, if I'm being honest, Jack did most of our interior decor, because he's very he's
Taurus.
Good at it. Where were we? Oh, we were with some of my high school friends the other day, and someone was talking about like, oh yeah, the secret to moving in with men is just to like not let them bring any of their stuff. And I was like, oh, but Jack has cool stuff. He has cool shit, and he did a good job of this. And like, I know that is very much the stereotype of
yes, like
especially
just don't
straight men. It's
let
like,
them do anything.
Don't. No, sorry, you can't bring your blacklight posters in here,
right?
Sir. Or whatever.
Listen, your gaming chair. Like, is there a room for this? If there's not, no. Like,
but at least in the public facing spaces of our house, like the living room. Now, the office is it's cute too. But anyway, but yeah, thank you. That means a lot to me.
Yes. It's true. It's like, oh yeah, I get that. Most definitely.
I could also see, Taurus being like the very like this is a comfy ass couch.
Yeah.
Like and it's also extremely aesthetically pleasing. I think I've told you several times I want this couch.
Yes.
But it's one of those where it's like I feel comfortable as well. In like I feel like it's a different vibe than my house, but it's equally like comfy, cozy. Like,
yes,
I can get in here and like snuggle in.
Oh yes. So this sofa, like, let me tell you, when I knew we were getting a new one, I was like, I want a deep couch. Like, let
me get lost on that couch.
I want, and I'm like, and I'm not. This is neither here nor there, but like, I'm not a small person, but I want to be able to be like enveloped in the couch.
Yes.
And so I need it to be deep. Yes. I need a certain level of depth. And like the search for a deep couch. One, I think once you know that you want a deep couch, you're like, all right.
Not settling for anything else.
You're about to spend some money too.
Oh, yeah.
There are just not any that are like inexpensive.
Yes.
And so we were looking and we're like, okay, like this is not the price range we were wanting to be in.
Yeah.
And it was like, for a while we kind of were like, okay, let's just take a break from it. Well, I was like, let's take a break from like, Melissa's like, let's find the things I want it done now.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm like, let's just take a break. And we went to this one last store and we, they were having a sale and like, it was probably, maybe it was like a Labor Day sale or some kind of one of those holidays. And it was just enough that it made it like, okay,
Yeah.
We will. It's still a jump, but it's like, all right, let's do this. And then we've not regretted it.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like, especially once you've like put in the time and done the research, you're probably not going to regret buying a deep couch.
Yeah.
Especially because that was like mid-pandemic, right? When you bought it too. So it was like, we're spending time at home.
Yeah.
Like,
let's make it, the way we want it to be. And, deciding on a white couch.
Hey, it's still very, like...
Listen.
It doesn't look very lived in.
Well, thank you.
Like, but it feels like I could live in it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look lived in.
We definitely live in it. We live in this thing.
Yeah.
We fall asleep most evenings on this couch.
There's room for everybody to stretch out in all the different directions.
And because Melissa's a Libra, so the chaise is like, I say that's my area. I always claim the chaise. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's my home or your home.
Yeah, it's
if you don't claim it, I'm going to go to the chaise.
Yes.
And Melissa, her Libra self loves to come on up, and we can both get on it together. But
no,
do we have to?
We don't have to touch. Okay. We don't have to.
But I try to let her snuggle because, I'm like, oh, okay, I know I'm a weirdo and I don't like, touch, but sure, let's snuggle.
Yeah.
But there is plenty of room to spread out as well. And so we're like, let's do it. We'll be the aunties with the white couch.
Yep.
Because that's when you've solidified that no children will be living in this home.
There are no plastic covers on it, though, I will say.
Listen.
And it's still pretty clean.
And let me tell you, there are moments there have been a couple drops. And it's usually Melissa. Well, it's always been Melissa. It has not been me. I'm just going to be I'm not trying to throw her under the bus, but it just been her.
Sure.
But, I'm like, all right, we've got to get a professional upholstery cleaner. We just have to. This is going to happen eventually. Something will get spilled. We just have to do it. But, yes, this tangent about my couch. But,
hey, it's a nice couch. It deserves to get its own segment.
It deserves a tangent.
Just a little couch corner over here.
Yes. Christine's couch.
Christine's couch. Literally. I'm on it. Right.
So, I have a little something for us. Little article.
Okay.
So, we're going to jump over. Did I open my article? Probably not. Nope. I opened yours.
Oops.
All right. So, we're going to talk about the astrology of your personal style in an article by Harper's Bazaar.
Seems like a reputable source.
Okay, high fashion.
Yeah.
High fashion.
Coming from the fashion magazine.
I'm not going to read this whole article, but it gets into talking about your rising sign. So it says, the rising sign is the face of the personality. It's like a window through which you view the world, and the world views you. The planet that governs your rising sign is considered the chart ruler. The sign and your house your chart ruler falls in plays a huge role in your personal makeup. First house planets, if any, are also extremely important. They become part of your style and how you approach and experience life. So since your rising sign is not your core self, but the filter through which you experience that core self, it has a profound influence on your personal style. So now we've got some little blurbs about each sign. So I'm going to try to go through them as quickly as I can, y'all.
Okay. Again, I'll try not to do tangents.
It's all good though. Just know, hey, everybody's getting love in here. So
yes, absolutely. Trying to get to everybody. There's 12 of y'all.
There's 12 of all of us here. So it's always a lot to get through. Okay, so let's start with Aries. The warrior archetype serves to project and protect the identity. These folks here These folks are here to develop courage, channel vitality into constructive challenges, and take a proactive approach to life. Aries needs to face the world with their inner confidence, so feeling powerful and comfortable, regardless of the setting, is essential. Sleek, sporty, and sexy, or power suited for the office, your physical body has to feel and look strong to let your true self shine. Sorry. Aries ruler is confident Mars, and the placement of the planet Mars in the chart is important.
Interesting.
So Aries wants to feel strong, powerful, sexy, sleek. That's very Aries to me. Like very presenting in like a powerful way.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, even if they're not suited, because, like, all Aries I know aren't necessarily, like, suits.
Not business
Right,
people.
business people, but they definitely give, a strong appearance.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, and again, this is rising sign, right, that we're talking
right,
about?
and yes, this is the rising sign.
No, but, like, that
so
also
that
still...
yes.
Jack is an Aries... Wait, is he? No, he's an Aries moon. Never mind. He's a Sagittarius rising, so...
See, yeah, I'm like, and now I have to, like, rethink a little bit, too. I do know some Aries risings. And, yes, definitely, like to have a strong, like, I mean, some of them are, like, suits, but, like, not, like, suit, like, but I like to dress, and I like to, like, put some strong pieces together.
Yes.
And so I'm here for it. Go ahead, Aries.
Okay.
So let's move to Taurus. An earthy, solid dependability serves to ground and channel the personality into methodical, practical action. Sensuality guides expression and purpose. Serenity, simplicity, and music are your allies. Taurus appreciates classic looks and sensual fabrics. Generally conservative, you care about the quality of what you wear and buy classic brands that outlast trends. You present a grounded, practical face to the world that looks beautiful as well as expensive, all of which helps you to operate at your best. Taurus's ruler is sensual Venus, and the position of Venus in the chart is important.
Do you feel like that relates to you? Do you feel like that's accurate?
Yeah. So, like, so I definitely see where Taurus shows up in, my personal style, but also I think Taurus shows up a lot in how I like to decorate at home. And kind of, it fluctuates, I feel like, with both, but, so this makes sense when I'm saying this. So we're going to talk about later, my Venus is in Aries. And so, like, that Taurus and Aries energy, I feel like there's a lot of, like, boldness in there, but also, like, being comfortable. Yeah. But, like, somewhat classic. I feel like I kind of tend towards trends, too. So I'm like, well, not always the most classic looks. Yeah. But, like...
I feel like you always have, like... I feel like the outfits that I usually see you in are like pretty classic outfits, but you always have like a statement piece.
Okay.
Either a statement piece or a statement color or like something that sets it apart from just being a classic outfit. Yeah. Yeah. Like, you had on like a jumpsuit kind of thing when you came over to my house a couple weeks ago, and I was like, ooh, like, I don't know if I could pull that off because I don't know if it would, like, I just am so, like, I don't know, can I do that? Are people gonna like that on me? But, like, you just did it, and it was so cute, and I was like, yes, okay, statement piece, like, it worked. So I feel like I see those things tied in together with you very well.
Yeah, it's, like, definitely comfort, and it's especially, like, the older I get, but like, yeah, like I'm less willing to be uncomfortable in what I'm wearing. Like, it has to be a real special occasion for me to just be uncomfortable. Like, I want to be comfortable, but I want it to look good. Like, and for me, I think, part of Taurus is like, they like luxury. They like, really nice things.
Expensive.
And I think I like the look of, like, look expensive, but not be expensive.
Right. I don't actually want to spend
I don't want to spend
money,
that much money,
but
I do want it to look elevated. Yes. I love elevated.
That's a nicer way of saying it. Yes.
Okay. So, Gemini. An inquisitive, mentally sharp, and conceptual approach to life serves to engage you in an active, outwardly focused relationship with the world. Objectively, travel and education are your allies. Gemini needs to get out into the world and mix it up a bit, so a style that is upbeat and expressive while letting you move and multitask helps you to be who you were meant to be. Accessories and a touch of whimsy help your personality shine. Inventive Mercury is Gemini's ruler, and the position of Mercury in your chart is important.
Okay. That makes sense to me.
So Gemini's, just, keeping it upbeat and expressive. And I'm like, now, I'm starting to think about Gemini suns, but...
I know, I was doing that too, but like Gemini rising.
I know, it's like rising, okay. But I'm like, also, I feel like my Gemini sun friends like that, and all of it kind of mixes together, but I think that applies as well. Like, I see that a lot. All right, Cancer.
This is me.
This is you. A sensitive, nurturing, and subjective approach to life serves to protect and channel your identity into emotionally supportive action in the world. Creativity, soul family, and boundaries are your allies.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Soul family and boundaries. Cancer does well with soft and sensual materials. Whatever you wear, dressing for security and success tends to influence your personal presentation. Classic styles that complement rather than overshadow you are best. You are elegant rather than trashy.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. The sensitive energy of the moon is Cancer's ruler, and the position of the moon in the chart is important.
Okay. Interesting.
How does that feel?
Yeah, that feels, I definitely feel like, oh man, I was talking to Jack about, like personal style and stuff last night, and sometimes he tells me that my style gives off big Becky Nace energy because it's my mom, and she dresses like a professional. Like, she's very, like, you see her, and it's like she's at work. Like, she's all business, very, like, and I don't know what her rising sign is. I would love to. I need to figure that out.
We'll find out.
But I just think it's just I do think I have an element of that. Like, even when I was like fresh out of college, like I was always showing up to my first couple of jobs overdressed until I got like, it wasn't until I had been working at the job where we worked together for like a couple years that I was like, okay, I'm going to just wear what I want because nobody really cares. And now,
it's like, oh, I can do this.
I'm starting to get to that point in my like job that I have now. 'Cause it's like been almost 3 years, but for the first couple years I was like, all right, dress professional.
Right, yeah. It takes a while to kind of relax things and like know that it's cool. Like, all right,
what's the vibe here?
Right. Someone's gonna say something because I have on like whatever. Yeah,
right.
Like
because I'm wearing jeans on a Friday, or but also soft and sensual materials is like, I love like silky, soft. Yeah. The thing that you have on right now, the like
Listen,
plush.
This is so comfortable too.
I kind of want to know where you got it because it's a whole thing.
It's from Fashion Nova.
Hey! Okay, I'm gonna do one even worse than Fashion Nova because it looks like Skims.
Oh.
Do you know about Skims?
I've heard of it.
The Kim K.
Oh.
Whatever.
Skims.
I'm not a fan of her, but like, I think she really did something with Skims. Because I have a Skims robe that is like probably
similar.
It's like very similar to, it is probably the exact same.
Yeah, probably the same. Yeah.
How Fashion Nova does that. And I want more of it because it's so soft and cozy.
Look, as soon as I got this, when I bought it, I immediately put it on. And I was like, oh my God.
And you haven't taken it off since.
Like, it took some time. I was like, oh, this is going to be I'm going to need to get more of these because I will be in this all the time. And I like put all of it on and I got into the couch and I just was like, ooh!
And it's like almost the same color as the couch.
Just meld into the couch. It was amazing.
Me and the couch are one.
It's so soft and just. I remember the first day I wore it. I was outside on the porch and my neighbor came out and she's like, that looks comfortable. I was like, it is. It is so comfortable.
It is.
All right.
Do you want me to read some of these? I feel like
sure.
So you don't have to read everything.
Yeah,
I have it pulled up, so I got it.
Go for it. I am cool.
Okay, so if you're a Leo rising, a creative, proud, active enthusiasm channels your distinctiveness into a playful and powerful engagement with the world and energizes the personality into an outward focus. Self-esteem and leadership are your allies. Leo needs to command attention. Surprise, surprise. This is what I was telling you about, that Jack was like, is there any signs that have things that you're just like, ugh? And he was like, every time I read something about a Leo, I'm like, that does not relate to me at all.
Yeah.
I can see this. Leo needs to command attention.
Yeah. That's not Taurus energy.
You aim for a dramatic flair.
Oh, yeah.
Presenting yourself to the world. It's like, come talk to me.
Right.
No.
Nope.
Feeling good in your own skin requires feeling good about how you look. You like to dress for the occasion and don't mind wearing a brand name to convey how successful you are. Leo's ruler is the all-powerful sun, and the position of the sun in the chart is important.
Yeah. I definitely see that. I mean, Leo has got to dress to impress. One of my good friends is a Leo, or now she's a Leo sun. Again, I know we were talking about rising, but it's related. Like,
I don't always remember people's rising signs off top. Like, that's why I keep referencing Jack, because I'm like, oh, I know his chart off the top of my head, but that's about it.
Right. I'm like, I don't know everyone's rising, but like some of this still relates to sun. And so, so she, whenever we would go out, we would always talk on the phone. She'd call me and she's like, what are you wearing? And I'm like, well, just put this on. Just put it, we would have a full consultation about what she should wear when it was time to go. And everyone just calls me and I'm like, I mean, I don't know what's in your closet. You know, what do you want to wear? I don't know. And I'm like, well, why don't you put a pattern in this? And then I'm giving this style consultation. Well, you can mix these and these, but don't put those.
Right.
And this
happens. This is why they call you. This is why they call you.
Literally happens daily. Melissa gets dressed for work and she's like, babe, well, what about this? And so I start telling her so you should put your clothes together, lay them out together. First, see what that looks like, just laying it out. Maybe put it on. Put it on your body. Just try the whole outfit on.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
see what you think. Because, I mean, this is what I have to do.
Right.
Sometimes I get ideas oh, wait, that could be an outfit. And I go to my closet and I'm like, okay, let me pull this out. In my mind, this seems to work. Let me see if this actually works on my body.
Yeah.
I mean,
sometimes it hits and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. and sometimes it doesn't. I thought that was going to be something, but it was not.
I feel like I'm getting better now than I used to be at just okay, let me combinations that I wouldn't have thought of before. Let me take an oversized shirt and put it over a dress instead of just wearing a shirt and pants. Just basic ass shit that I'm oh, finally I'm thinking about things.
Just deciding to just mix it up. I'm just going to try this. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, we tried something new.
Someone tell me it didn't work, and that's
Please,
fine.
someone tell me. Don't have me out here looking crazy.
Yes. Okay, now we've got our Virgo risings.
Virgo.
You said Melissa is a Virgo rising?
She's Virgo moon.
Virgo moon, that's right. We don't know her rising.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
Okay. Analytical, grounded, and growth-oriented. You work towards self-refinement and meaningful work in the world. The development of practical skills is necessary for your self-esteem. Organization, self-acceptance, and nature are your allies. As a Virgo, you can be very hard on yourself when it comes to appearance. While feeling more comfortable in a neat, organized, and structured look, you aim for it to be put together naturally without too much fuss. Comfort is a big factor, and you are attracted to brands that are fashionable as well as functional. And of course, Virgo's ruler is creative Mercury, and the position of Mercury in the chart is important.
sounds, again, I'm going to say sun, but the Virgo suns that I know, this is very, on point for them. Definitely, a structured, neat look. Yeah, but, I don't know the Virgo risings, but I know the Virgo suns.
Yep.
And they definitely like to be put together and organized.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what we're attracting it.
Right.
Okay, so then we have Libra. An artistic, gracious, socially conscious sign. You are active and outwardly focused while engaging with the world. A peaceful environment is necessary to maintain equilibrium. Beauty, diplomacy, and intimate relationships are your allies. Libra loves to be social. Yeah. Ruled by Venus, you have a deep need for beauty. So to feel comfortable, you must feel coordinated. Whatever form that takes, whether jeans and a t-shirt or evening glamour, you dress for yourself, but care what others think. You aim to be appropriate with your fashion choices. Goddess Venus is Libra's ruler, and of course, position of Venus in the chart is important. I'm just going to stop reading that.
I know. I'm like, it says this on everyone. We're just going to skip that part. Yeah. Again, Melissa is a Libra sun.
Yep.
But this, right. Again, very important. Some days she's like, I'm going to present in front of a bunch of fifth graders. My looks got to be on point. I can't be looking like her. I'm like, okay, girl.
The fifth graders will clown you.
And that's what she always says. They'll clown you. I'm like, I know. She's like, what's about my hair? What about this? Can you? The mornings when she really comes over, she's like with the pick, and she's like, can you help with my hair? I'm like, you know how to do your hair. She's like, but I'm doing this today. I'm like, okay. She I always tell her, I'm like, the Libra is coming out because the appearance is very important.
Yes.
Very important.
Need to feel coordinated.
Yes.
All right. Our Scorpio friends, or Scorpio rising friends.
Yes.
A penetrating, intense, and emotional emphasis channels your energy into a courageous, impacting relationship with the world, which gives depth to your personality. Personal growth, financial partnerships, and healing are your allies. Scorpio must feel powerful and at least a little sexy to feel fabulous. Subtle yet dramatic. An understated charisma to your presentation draws attention while commanding respect. Sometimes less is more, and frumpy is certainly not in the Scorpio zodiac fashion closet. As fiery Mars and powerful Pluto are Scorpio's rulers, the positions of those planets in the chart
are important. Hey. Now this, doesn't surprise, Scorpio needs to feel powerful and sexy.
Yes.
Commanding attention and respect. Okay.
Less is more also is giving me some of that energy. I feel like I've picked up on a lot of that.
Yes.
Less is more.
I see it.
Okay. Yes.
Go ahead. Okay. So Sagittarius rising. An enthusiastic, positive, faith-filled approach channels into an action-oriented, high-energy relationship with the world, which helps lighten the personality. Spontaneity, spiritual study, adventure, and animals are your allies. Sagittarius loves color, and you will take bold chances with your personal presentation. It helps you to meet the world with an adventurous attitude. As a fire sign, you have no problem being noticed. Your fun and flirtatious personality is also conveyed in your zodiac fashion look. Philosophical Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. And what? The position of Jupiter in your chart is important.
Yeah, that tracks. That's Jack, like I said, is a Sag rising.
Oh,
I feel like he's been getting into his own little personal style a little bit more lately. Okay. So I'm like, yes, good for you. Make some bold choices. Yeah, it's not my style, but it's your style. I didn't even mean that as like shade in any way. Like he dresses very well.
Yes. I'm like, yeah, I mean, and it should be you, right? Like, you know, even if it's not me.
Right.
I mean, Melissa and I dress in very different ways, and even though she steals my clothes often, we do dress differently.
Okay, you know? Jack and I are now at a point where we are wearing each other's clothes. I've been. Sorry, I know I'm tangenting. We'll talk more about it, but I've been in this phase of like extremely bisexual fashion, where I just want to wear like big ass men's shirts, and Jack's pants are just getting like a little more high waisted, so he can wear my jeans because he's got skinny legs. Oh. And so, yeah, I bought this pair of like lunch sack Zara jeans the other day that like pull up and they have like a cinched waist, and he pulled them out of the dryer and he thought they were his, and because you know the women's jeans style is like a little baggier,
right?
And now they're his jeans.
Oh wow.
So
well, at least it's not just me.
Yeah, no, it's not.
So many things disappear. Oh, I thought this was mine. Like, no,
it's
you
not.
Didn't even buy anything. You didn't even buy this. Like, why did you think this was yours?
Right.
Like, all the time. You didn't even buy the shirt. And then she'll go and buy the same thing. So then we can't tell
have two of them.
Whose shirt it is. And she refuses to look at the tag. It's like, the size will tell you all you need to know. But she refuses. Well, I thought it was mine. It says it's a 2X. Like you don't wear that.
It's not your size, babe. It's not.
It's my life. All right. So let's talk Capricorn. Capricorn rising. A serious, grounded, methodical approach motivates you towards disciplined and ambitious achievement in the world, and it helps to focus your personality in the material world. Goals, the ability to process, and authority are your allies. Capricorn feels comfortable when in control. Yep. Often that translates into conservative clothing, but if you are very individual in the way you are very individual in the way you mix and match. Sorry, that tripped me up. Okay. You look for quality and can pick up bargain couture at a fraction of the cost.
Hey.
Come on, bargain couture. Business oriented, it is important to dress like a professional in your chosen field. Capricorn ruler is powerful and practical Saturn. And what? The position is important.
Right.
All right. Aquarii. Let's see. An individualistic, mentally focused, and humanitarian approach guides you toward an outgoing, active relationship with the world and prompts the personality to follow unique inner guidance. Intuition, liberation, and genius are your allies. Nice allies, all right? Yeah. As an Aquarian, you put a unique spin on your personal presentation. Even if you wear a uniform, somehow you will make it individually and totally chic. Yes, very Aquarius. Not one to follow the latest trends or adhere to traditional standards. You are your own personal trendsetter. You are comfortable in your own skin, and the zanier, the better. Unconventional Uranus and determined Saturn rule Aquarius, and the position of both planets in the chart are important. So Aquarius, again, the cool kids. Always doing something a little bit different.
Yep. I always think of I feel like, you know how Rihanna is our like Pisces queen. Aquarians have Andre 3000. I feel like that's like the like quintessential Aquarian.
Listen. Thank you. Yes. Andre 3000. Because, I mean, look at that man.
Look at him. He's beautiful.
Absolutely. Like the coolest thing.
So
like,
always so cool. And always
how do you come up with it?
Like outside of trends always looks so like never following a trend. But also still looking so cool.
Yeah.
Trendsetters.
Yeah. Y'all got it. Aquarians. You got it. All right. And last.
Pisces.
So this is our Pisces rising friends. But maybe we'll apply to Pisces suns. A profoundly sensitive, gentle, and intuitive orientation channels the Pisces personality into an emotionally meaningful and creative relationship with the world, which gives depth. Mm-hmm. Dreams, spirituality, and artistic expression are your allies. Pisces can wear almost anything and feel comfortable. Mm. As long as you're expressing an emotionally sensitive attitude that conveys depth and compassion, your fashion choices will work.
Wow.
That's a lot on the fashion choices.
Yeah, right?
You can cast quite a spell with your zodiac fashion style and channel mystery, magic, and a lot of glamour.
Hey.
As Pisces ruler, the positions of imaginative Neptune and adaptable Jupiter are important in your chart.
Okay. All right.
And that's all of our sign friends.
All of our rising sign friends.
All of our rising sign friends.
So we have a couple of other articles, but I think I'm gonna skip them.
Okay. You wanna maybe we'll take a break real quick, but then we maybe you can give us like an overview.
Okay.
Maybe like a quick, if you feel like it.
Yeah.
Because I know that was kind of long.
No, but it was good. The other one in here is similar.
Okay.
It's about sun signs, but it's probably going to be very similar.
Okay, very similar information. Gotcha.
We can put it in the show notes if y'all want to see it later.
Perfect. Yes.
How about
the
that?
show notes.
Yes. So yeah, but I do think we should take a quick break. And then we'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more about our personal style.
Yes.
And then we'll get out of here.
All right.
Okay. And we're back.
Hey y'all.
Keith
is here with us. We're gonna see if Keith can
chill.
Join us and
Yeah.
not bark in the mic. That would be amazing. Oh.
He's under his cozy little blankie.
Yes.
He's being real chill right now.
Trying to keep him comforted.
So we're going to do what we can. I don't know if I'd be able to edit it out. So
right.
Y'all might just have to deal with a bark or two.
Go back under. Like he's like, who is that talking? Why is she talking?
Why is she talking?
All right. So we're getting back in. We're jumping back in. So we're skipping the next item, or you're gonna give us a.
We're just gonna put the article in the show notes.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So
we can just jump straight into talking about Venus and our own personal style aesthetics, which we've touched on a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you want to talk any more or have anything else to say about your Venus in Aries?
So, my Venus in Aries, I feel like that energy kind of creates a little bit more of like the colorfulness and like the kind of bold pieces or bolder choices. I kind of look around like our house and kind of see where like kind of the Taurus meets the Aries. And of course, it's not all just my style. Melissa's style is definitely here. But as she will tell anyone, my style is very present.
Yes.
I think Melissa, if I were not here, would be very much a minimalist.
Right.
She loves minimalism. I love the look of minimalism.
Yeah, it's nice. In reality, it doesn't always
I am
work.
very much like a maximalist.
Yeah.
I am, boho, like
Very
layers
boho.
and layers and layers.
Yes. I will say that I feel like our house has kind of come somewhere in the middle because I am kind of a minimalist. Like, I am not afraid to get rid of some shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just say, no, we don't need that anymore.
Yes.
Like, throw it away. Sometimes I have accidentally thrown things away that did not need to be thrown away. Because I'm to that point. But I just don't like clutter and like, I start to feel a little claustrophobic if there's too much stuff.
Yes.
But I love the look of maximalist style. Like, especially like seeing a lot of it on TikTok and stuff and how people do it. And like, the way that y'all have done it is really nice. Like, it doesn't feel claustrophobic to me, but when I do it in my own house, I feel like I can't get it right. So I'm like, just get rid of everything.
I mean, it definitely takes a little like, and I think it takes playing with all the time. I think one of the ways I kind of address, especially with interior style, is like it's a building process. And for me, it is okay for that process to take time or whatever time it takes.
Right.
Sometimes it's building over years because like I'm one of those people that like I love bringing back stuff from like your travels and having it in your house. And I mean, you're not going to have that all at once, you know, so that obviously is going to build over time. Like when we were looking at changing things here, you know, Melissa's like, okay, well, let's just, you know, get it. Like, let's get it all and get it all at once. Let's change it over all now. And I'm like, well, you know, let's take our time and let's, you know, find this or that. And she's like, no, look, let's go. Like, that's interestingly very, like, it feels like very Aries energy. Like, no, let's go. Let's go.
Right now,
like, let's now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's take our time.
Yeah.
Very Taurus, like, let's slow down, ground ourselves. What colors are speaking to you? Like, that's where I am. I'm like, let's get into the color palette first. And like,
so funny because I also relate to Melissa in that, like, I just want it to be done now.
Yes.
And I don't know if I think I'm getting better at that as I get older too. But I, like, definitely just do not have any patience. I'm not a very patient person.
Yes. See, this is why you all relate in these ways. I'm like, let's take our time with it, which is why it's taken so long for this room to fully change over. But I think once it happens, it'll be right. It'll be the way we want it to be, and it won't feel like rushed.
Yeah.
And so we'll get there. And now, you know, we've like worked on every room in the house, and like we're cycling back to the bedroom. And like, let's look at the bedroom again because we changed the bedroom, and it was the first room that got changed. Now we're like, well, now I am like, okay, I want to get rid of these lamps. Like, I'm not feeling this anymore. Like, I kind of want to, like, I feel like our room got almost very masculine. And it's a nice room. It's just like, I need a little more femininity in the room.
Touch.
Yeah, like a little more softness. Yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like bedrooms especially, like, I like the contrast of, like, I love a mid-century modern, like, you know, sideboard desk, like, with the little sideways legs or whatever.
Yes.
But then I also want, like a very fluffy, overdone bed with, like, way too many pillows.
Yes.
Like, Jack will always make fun of me for how many pillows. Like, there's always at least
I feel like
6.
men just don't understand pillows.
No, not in the same way.
Yeah. We're like, no, there needs to be 17 pillows. Because
and you gotta fluff them the right way.
Yeah, you definitely
get them chopped.
Got to fluff. Yes, the chop. Been trying to teach Melissa the chop, like on the sofa. Like, you gotta chop the pillows. You gotta give the little chop.
I almost chopped your pillows, and I was like, I don't want Keith to bark at me because I chopped the pillow. I just won't do it. But you know what I mean.
He's very, you know. Hey, all right.
He's swaddled like a little baby right now.
He's trying to get all in my mouth, but also at the same time burping because he just ate. I'm like, no, you will not burp. Don't start. Get back under. Yes.
He looks like a little babushka. Look at him.
Right.
This is the bonus content that y'all really want. It's just videos of Keith being held like a little tiny baby.
Right. Just swaddling this not baby anymore. Like, Keith, you're a whole teenager.
Aww. So anything else to say about your Venus and Aries?
Gosh, anything else? Nothing's coming to mind right now, so I'll keep it moving unless something else comes up.
Okay, fair.
So what about you? What about your Venus?
My Venus is in Aquarius.
Okay.
Which is funny because I'm not totally sure what that means, like 100%. But I know that Aquarius are very much like the cool kids, like the hipsters, trendsetters. And I don't always feel like I have that, but I do want to be like on to the next cool thing. Like I do kind of, feel the same way of like, I was looking at some of our stuff the other day and I was like, this could be better. We could do this better.
Yeah.
Just that kind of, I don't know. And I think that combined with the Cancer energy that we talked about earlier, like I want other people to think my shit is cool.
Yeah. I think Aquarians, like, maybe in style, like, are the people that find like the really cool pieces. You know what I mean? Like, you're the like, I was at this flea market or I was at this vintage store, like, like finding like unique stuff that everyone's not going to have in their home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think interior style, like I'm not quite there yet, but I have been doing more like trying to thrift clothing.
Yes, and clothing too. I'm sorry, I just started talking about that as if
that's like the next thing we're talking about is interior style. But I feel like I've done it more lately with clothing than I have in the past. Like I told you, I've just been very into like oversized men's shirts. I've been just like so easy to find those at Goodwill. Like really good men's shirts, like tied up, turned into a little crop top. Love to cut a thing into a crop top.
Yes, look, same.
That's one thing I did during the pandemic was buy some cloth scissors and turn all my old shitty t-shirts into crop tops.
Absolutely.
And give them new life.
New life.
Very much on the same wavelength about that.
Yes.
I can't sew really, but I'm not afraid to cut some shit up.
Yeah. God, I mean, sewing is still, it's one of the skills that it's kind of like, it's disappointing that I still don't have that skill in my tool belt.
Do you have a machine?
I actually used to have a mini machine. I don't remember what I did with that, but it's been a long time since I had it. But I would try to do some stitching on it. Like I didn't fully know what I was doing, but I was like, okay, this is what I see happening.
Yeah.
Now, the funny thing is, my stepmom does know how to sew, does have a machine, and at one point in time was supposed to teach me to sew. Like, that was the project. And then she decided to go get her doctorate, and that was the end of that. Hey, I get it, because that's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's just a lot.
Yeah.
And you probably don't have much, space for anything else for a while after you do that.
That's fair. But I still would like to know how to
learn how to sew. At one point, she was like, well, I'll just, like, buy you classes or something at, like, Joanne or something so you can go learn. Like, it's like, well, I guess, but also, okay.
Yeah.
But it would have aided, there was a time, and the time isn't necessarily over, but, I started a jewelry business back in, like, 2010. And kind of let that evolve, and I started doing these like hand painted earrings, and they were really fun and cool. And I wanted to start doing bags and things like that, but like didn't know how to sew.
Hey, it's not too late.
And it's not too late, but yes, there are parts still unfulfilled in my fashion and style dreams.
Well, it never ceases to amaze me, like the amount of things that you know how to make. Like you've done hand painted earrings, you've done, all the like resin art that you've done, like the cards,
digital artwork, sign catchers, candles, like all. And it's what the funny thing is, looking at this episode as well is, I think I've known that I'm creative and I've always liked crafting and whatnot. But thinking about this, like I got a chance to reflect back on like how much like style has been a part of my life. And like, even as like a young person, like I always used to like draw like a page full of, women, like a page full of like women, and just draw like different outfits on everybody all the time. And I would have like notebooks full of like pages of different outfits, and I always was like into the magazines, and like just I liked clipping things out and looking at different styles. Like, that was like the most fun thing to me. You know, had a little issue with hoarding magazines. Like, at some point people are like, so you're gonna get rid of these? I'm like, well, but this is the, you know, issue, and this has this and this has that. So I got myself down to like only keeping like the spring and fall fashion issues of my magazines, because, you know, they just add up, and then it's like, where are you going to keep all of these? They're years worth of magazines,
right? You get
like,
one
but this
a week.
this is this, you know, whatever. Yeah, too much. So
there is something really beautiful about a print magazine, especially a fashion magazine. Like,
I love them so much.
They're really fun to. I feel the same way about cooking magazines,
yes,
and like recipes and
yes,
stuff like that. Like, something about like having the physical act of turning the page feels so different to me.
I'm such a print magazine girl, and like I try to do digital, and it's not the same.
Yes.
Like scrolling on my screen, and I mean, but it's the same thing with like people like real books,
right.
versus like reading from a screen. It just feels different.
It just feels different.
Yeah,
it's very Pisces of us to
yes,
be very attached to the physical
yes,
medium of books and writing and all of that.
Very poetic.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So one of the things I was thinking about in this episode was how 2020 brought this pandemic into our lives, and many people were, you know, forced. Maybe they feel forced.
Yes.
You know, maybe other people don't feel as reluctant to have been staying at home.
Right. Talking to me.
Me. I'm like, oh, we can stay at home. Great.
Cool. Love that for me.
So we started working from home, and so a lot of people got into their spaces and are like, I don't love this anymore.
Yes.
Because we're spending so much more time at home. And so we all kind of got that signal at the same time, which also kind of caused a little bit of a strain on our industries that provide wood mainly.
Ooh,
lumber, jeez.
Rough. Real rough.
Wild. You know, speaking of this sofa, like the amount of time that it took to actually get this sofa in.
It's been insane,
Something else. Like, we're like, well, we bought it, but now we have to wait months. And I think it was like 3 or 4 months. And that was interesting, you know, especially when you pay for things and, you know, you don't get to pay for them later.
No instant gratification.
Right. It's
at
like,
all.
I made this really huge purchase, and now where is it?
Where is it?
So just wanted to chat a little bit about, you know, working on your home. I wanted to ask you, did you work on any home improvement projects during the pandemic?
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to think. We haven't done any like projects per se, but like week 1 we moved the furniture around in the living room.
Yes.
Like just
like,
nope.
Change it up.
This chair needs to go here because we're gonna be sitting in front of the couch a lot. Like we just did a lot of that in the living room.
Yeah.
We haven't really bought a ton of new stuff, although we like finally got around to like hanging a bunch of art that we've had for a long time. I take that back. We bought some new nightstands for the bedroom and just kind of like, you know, made it look a little more adult.
Yes.
A lot of cleaning and organizing happening.
That's
for sure.
Very important, right?
Nothing major, but we definitely, like I said, like week 1, we were like, okay, we're going to be spending a lot of time here. And that was definitely one of the main focuses.
Yeah. I feel you. Like, I'm glad you didn't have a lot that you needed to do.
Unfortunately, we did get new appliances in the kitchen, which was my big thing, and I was like, yes, new oven, giant fridge.
You have some beautiful kitchen appliances.
Thank you.
Like, we were looking at one of those refrigerators recently. You're like, now, do you have the one with the screen on it too?
No.
Okay, I was like, do you have that one? Okay, no, I mean, that's not really a big deal, but they're cool.
Nice. Okay, what I learned the other day, I used to be like, oh, that's so silly. Like, you just open the fridge, but you can also see it on your phone. So if you're at the grocery store and you're like, do we have this?
You can
look.
see in there. Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's really cool. I'm like, I think we were at Home Depot and I was looking at one and this man came up and started talking to me about this refrigerator. And I'm like, it's really, I'm like, I don't know what else to say to you about this fridge. I'm like, my mom has one too.
Yeah, that's great.
He's like, my mom got one. I'm like, my mom got one too. It's like your mom and my mom are probably two very different ages.
I'll never understand the kind of people that just come up and talk to you at places like that, like so openly.
About the most random, not an issue.
No.
But like,
but
just
I
so
would
strange.
never be the initiator of a conversation like that.
No.
I'd never be like, hey, you like this fridge? Like, that's not, maybe if I have a very specific need.
Yes.
Or you work there.
Yes.
And I have to ask you a question, but to just chat in that way, I'm not going to be the one to do that, probably.
Yes. Like, but I feel like that's very also typical of men and like, I guess it's Home Depot a hardware store or like like men, like see a woman in a store, or can I help you? Like, I got this, thank you. Like,
I know what I'm doing, thanks.
I'm okay.
And if I do need some help, I will ask you.
Right, I'll ask.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the kisses, baby. Like,
he missed you so much.
He is all up in my face.
He really is.
He was curled up just a second ago, and now he's like, let me be on you.
I want to be all over you.
Like, I want to be in your face in particular. I'm like, well, just be right here.
How about just right here, Keith?
Well, so we did a few renovations during the pandemic. We did some like decor stuff, but we've that we've kind of made over this room.
Yes.
We did a little. We started some projects. So we started in our powder room or whatever. We redid the floor. I think. Well, we took all the decor that was in there out. That room is now just incomplete.
It's okay.
But like
it's
I was telling Melissa, I'm like, we really need to just finish that room. It doesn't take that much. I'm like, I can paint the wall. We were originally going to do something else in there, but I'm like, we could just paint the wall and put some little decorative accents in there, and that room will be ready to go. And it doesn't look like it's just in limbo as it has been. But yeah, we redid. We redid the office. The office used to be our guest bedroom.
Right.
And it became the office. And we got the closets done last year, which was real fun.
What did you do to the closet?
When?
Or what? Like what?
So we got those closet systems, like the built-ins. We had someone come in and do those. So we did there's a walk-in in the office, and then there are like 2 individual closets in our bedrooms. So we got those done. We also got our laundry area done so that shelving goes all the way up, and we can keep things stored. Because love our little home, but storage is definitely an issue, especially because me over here maximalist and has a whole crafting career and need room,
all the things.
So let's see. Okay, what's the next question I had? What are or were important changes or feelings that you wanted to create in your space?
Important changes or feelings. Well, so
it's like kind of 2 different questions.
No, but they're
whichever.
I think
works.
They're related for me. So I know I talked about just having the Cancer influence, but I definitely want people to feel at home in my home. Unless I don't. Which, like, if I'm inviting you, if I'm inviting you to my home,
right,
it's a big deal because, like, if you're there, I want you to feel like you're there, and if I don't, if we're not on that level, I'm just not going to invite you to my house,
right? Exactly. Yes.
But so just like very much like it's hard for me to have people over without making a tray of food or offering drinks or whatever. So I want it to be like friendly for entertaining and like seating and have like a communal area. A lot of our furniture right now, like our living room furniture and stuff, it's nice, but it's like hand-me-down furniture. So I think in thinking about like the next steps for stuff like that is like I want like, you know, some sort of a sectional couch or like, you know, just very communal area. And then another thing that Jack kind of invested in or insisted on investing in when we moved in that now is like my favorite thing about our house is that there's like a little listening area. So like the record player, and we've got all the records and like that. I would love to have a room with a TV that's like a basement, like you go downstairs to watch TV, but upstairs is a listening room.
I love that. I love that.
Just a listening space.
Yeah. I think like it's one of the things I think a lot of people struggle with, like, do I put a TV in this room or not?
Right.
Because it's so nice when you have a space that there's not the presence of like visual media in that way. And spaces that you can have conversation and like listen to records and like just kind of vibe out. But it's, you know, it's like, oh, well, should we put a TV in here? Should we, you know? Yeah,
I don't want a TV just for the sake of having a TV, but like right now it's like that is where we watch TV.
Right,
so, you know, that's the only place to put the TV.
Yes. But, I think we had a similar kind of thing like when we decided to put a TV in the bedroom. And now we really rarely watch the TV that's in the bedroom, but it's in there. But it's like, well, sometimes we might want to watch it, but really it is probably the least watched TV in our home. Not that we have a bunch of TVs in here, but it's the least watched.
Same. We only have two, and it's the one that we watch the least.
Right.
That sounds right.
Yes. Okay. Keith is smacking. You know, I'm sure you'll hear his smacking all in the.
It's pretty cute though.
In the episode. So this might have already answered this a little bit, but how do you see your sign reflected in the way you style your home?
My sun sign, or any?
Yes, or any of the signs related to, you know, your style, but also your sun sign.
Yeah. No, that. Well, I think so. The Pisces, especially in my bedroom, like I don't know. I feel like my bedroom is like a better looking place than my living room is because I spend so much time in there. Yeah. But it's much more like that's where I've got a few more plants and I've got some crystals in there, and they're all like. Got my little crystals all arranged in a very specific order, and my little like sage, you know, smudge thing right here, and like some little antique crystal bowls that my grandma gave me. Like that stuff is all in the bedroom because it is very like it's like something that I like. That's like energy I want to keep protected.
Yes,
and like my guests aren't usually like walking in the bedroom and like what's going on in here, unless I'm like Of course, I'm not like, don't come in here, but you know, it's just not getting quite the same level of traffic, I guess. Like, you know, other people's energy.
Sure, yes.
And that feels like a very Pisces thing to do.
Yeah, definitely protecting like your energy, like the rooms in your home, you know, especially certain rooms, like. Yeah, I want the energy in this space to be very specific, and I don't want other energies to really mess with that.
Yeah. So that's the first thing that comes to mind. But I don't know, do you have any specific... I mean, I know we've kind of talked about it a little bit, but...
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess one thing was I knew when we were redoing things here... is that I wanted it to be comfortable. Like one of the conversations we had been having was when we travel, we'll stay in like, most of the time we'll stay in like an Airbnb or whatnot. And we like selecting super cute Airbnbs, right?
Yeah,
like I think that's one of the things people love about
fun.
Airbnb, right? It's like get the really cute places. And we're like, we want to have that same feeling in the house. Like we want to feel like when we're at home, like we're in like a cute Airbnb, you know?
Except it's the house.
Right. Except this is where we live every day.
It's curated.
So, it's curated. It's comfortable. We can, function and do the things. So, like, that's what we wanted to create. So the way my signs show up, I think, again, I think very like Aries and Taurus blend. Mm-hmm. But I also feel like there's spaces that are very Pisces. There's a creative space.
Right. The fact that you have a creative
space in the home, which I would, love to be bigger and have more creative space, but that's okay. There is a space where I create, but I think probably my favorite space. I couldn't do this episode and talk about interior style without talking about the Jungalow.
Yes, the Jungalow.
And so the Jungalow, look, why do Keith look at you like,
hey, me so hard
pipe down.
Don't talk about the Jungalow. You don't know.
You don't know about the Jungalow.
That's my space.
Right.
That's where I like to sunbathe. That's what he's saying.
He's like, for real. But the Jungalow is our relaxation room, if you will. Mm-hmm. It is very boho. Mm-hmm. Lots of plants. Lots of
Just gonna go ahead and plug at Planted Self Care here.
Go check out at Planted Self Care. You will definitely get
Christine.
Peeks of the Jungalow.
The beautiful plants she has up there.
Beautiful plants. They are beautiful.
And the beautiful singing bowls and the beautiful chair. The wicker chair. It's like the little egg chair. It's perfect.
Yes. There's just the art that's in the room. Everything in the space is very us. Mm-hmm. And I think when we finish the space, well, yeah, I guess it's technically finished. We could put a little more art in there, but overall the room is finished. I just felt very proud of it.
Yeah.
This is a dope ass room.
It is. It absolutely is. It's something to be proud of. Yeah.
So it's I do have my altar up there, and I do my rituals, and I do my sound healing practice. I read. We have our record player. We listen to vinyl. We have a little projector up there, and so we can shoot it at night because it's not an expensive projector that actually you could see during the day, but we shoot it on the ceiling. We have a slanted ceiling up there, and so we'll shoot it up there, and we have these little floor beds that we'll kind of get out and just lay up there and watch TV or whatever movies up there. And it's just a fun space, and I think that space very much reflects both the Aries and the Taurus, but also Pisces. Pisces love to relax, and chill out,
turn
vibe
the projector on at night. It's very ethereal.
Oh yeah, and then then I've got the little lights and projectors, to make the room, purple or blue or green, whatever.
Yes,
it's my favorite thing.
It's a vibe.
it's a vibe.
Lovely.
Yes. I was we should shoot up. We should do the podcast up there one day. I need to it's not that it's messy or anything up there, but I'm I could set things up. We could record up there.
No, yeah, we could just be on the little floor beds vibing out.
Yes. Have a little, something. Mm-hmm. Just hang.
I'm into it.
Yes. Okay. Let me see. I'm moving us down the outline.
Anything else to cover?
Let's see. I'm gonna skip as much as I want to dig into this.
We can always have a part 2.
We can have a part 2. So one of the notes that I wrote was one of the things that also exploded during this time, in terms of home decor, even though this isn't, not just home decor, but plants.
Yes, we could do a whole episode just about plant care and your zodiac sign, and
one of my favorite things,
whether or not you have a green thumb based on your zodiac sign alone.
Ooh, fun. New episode alert. That's one to do.
But Christine, I feel like you were definitely an inspiration, but we both were kind of starting to get into plants around the same time.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden we had
a million plants. it just, it turned up a notch. Like it really just ratcheted up. And I think that was partly also that as a collective, people were getting more and more into plants. We have the rise of the plant influencers.
Yes.
Some of my plant friends out there, my plant influencer friends. Like just a great time for people connecting with nature and bringing nature inside.
Yeah.
And so it's one of the trends that I've enjoyed seeing in our interior design worlds.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
I agree clearly. I mean, we both got the plants everywhere.
Yes.
All right.
So I think we can end it there. I think we can. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
cool.
I can go on all day, and I really want you to be able to go home. I can go all day about style and interior design, and
We'll definitely have to have a part 2 about this, just because you have so much to offer us in terms of style. Maybe next time we can do little tips and tricks based on your zodiac sign, or
ooh, okay, don't get me started, y'all. I will do it. Let me know you want that. I will do it.
Yes. I love it. Okay, do you want to take a break, or do you want to just roll through the Pisces Preguntas real quick, or?
How about we'll take a break for editing's sake, and then we'll just jump back on.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll see y'all in just a second.
See ya. Keep said bye.
And we're back. All right, so this week we didn't have any listener questions, but I do have a Pisces Pregunta for you, Christine.
Oh.
Because we're talking about style and we're talking about aesthetic and beauty and all those things, I wanted to know if there are any, particular style choices in terms of, personal style or interior design or anything like that. Are there any style choices that are an absolute no for you?
For me. So I was thinking about this, and I really couldn't come up with like a thing that I'm like absolutely no. And of course, I'm sure as soon as we, stop recording or this goes to air, I'll be like, oh yeah, that. But I'm kind of like, I'm the person like, hey, if it makes you feel good, wear it. And so
such a Pisces answer.
Yeah, I feel like me personally, I tend to wear things that maybe people feel like people my age should not wear.
Just seems not very nice.
And I'm like, that's fine, and I'm still going to wear them because I like them.
In my head, you're 32, so wear whatever you want.
Right? I used to have these like back and forths with my dad all the time. And my dad worked in the finance industry for his whole career, and so worked in banks, things like that. And so he is suited and booted every day.
Yes.
In a suit. And so when I finished school and got my first counseling job, my dad was like wanting to buy me a suit. First, my dad's been trying to buy me suits for like years. He wanted me to have suits to wear to church.
Imagine your therapist wearing a suit.
Listen,
I could never.
How many times I had to explain to my dad why therapists don't wear suits.
Right.
Like there's actually a real reason why therapists dress the way they dress. And if you've ever wondered why therapists don't wear suits, it's because wouldn't you be intimidated to walk in and have someone in a suit
every day? You wear a suit so people know that you're an important person, and you're
a business person, you're serious, and this, that, and the other, and you come to do a certain job, right? That's not the job that therapists do. Like, you don't want to meet that kind of energy when you need to be vulnerable.
Yes.
And talk about all manner of things that have happened in your life. You need someone that looks approachable.
Yes.
And so, that's one for all of you that don't know why therapists don't wear suits.
Yeah, if you're like, I want my therapist to dress a little more professionally. Well, okay, maybe there is one out there somewhere.
There might be.
That.
There's probably one.
Probably.
But, they might be psychoanalysts.
Yeah, they might. That might be maybe run the other way.
This is the second time that I've come for psychoanalysts. No, I think, I don't know. I just lost. Oh yeah, things that's why I'm like, I have to come back to the question because I'm like, what was I saying?
Any style choices?
Any absolute no's? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything that really stands out as like an absolute no.
Yeah.
There are things that I try and I'm like, no, that wasn't it.
Yeah.
Or before I actually wear it anywhere, but. Yeah, some things I think I'm like, oh, that would be cute, and I'm like, no, that didn't work.
Not on me necessarily.
Yeah, not on me, but it works for some. But like
right.
that didn't work for me.
Yeah.
What about you?
As far as like personal style, I think not necessarily like everybody. Everybody's body type is different. Like what looks good on you, what you like. Feel comfortable in.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, I think what you feel comfortable in is the thing that's going to look best on you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you feel comfortable wearing a suit, then you rock a fucking suit.
Right, embody that.
If you feel comfortable,
in a crop top.
In a crop top.
You better rock that crop top.
Yeah, and then I think that like spans across gender. Like I love, especially now, how the gender lines are a little more blurred as far as like can and can't wear.
Yes.
I just think anybody should be able to wear whatever the fuck they want.
Yes, like they're just fucking clothes. Like, first of all, like we were naked anyway. Like,
right.
We were naked. Now we wear clothes.
Yes.
Like, and so it doesn't really matter. There are no rules.
No rules.
Like, even though there are rules, there's no rules. Like, someone made that shit up. And therefore, if that's not what you want to follow, do you. Be a Taurus. Be yourself.
I will say, I'm just thinking about, like, I just had a thing come to mind and I don't want to lose it. Sometimes when people are out here wearing just brand names, like big ass brand names, I'm like, it feels a little flashy for me. I wouldn't necessarily always want to rock that.
Right.
But again, if you like it,
I love it. Right.
If you like it, I love it.
I think that's also not really for me. And I think one of the things that like kind of drove that home early is when I was in middle school, and this, at the height of people, wearing the brands and like you gotta wear certain brands. In middle school, it was like, it was like the athletic brands were kind of hot. So like wearing Nike, Reebok, Adidas, like all of the different sport brands, that was like the hot thing, and you couldn't mix. Like if you're gonna wear Nike, you gotta be Nike down.
Right.
Like
you can't
be like Nike and Reebok. Right.
And an Adidas shirt.
Right.
Or,
And so I remember I had some like Nike shoes, and my dad was like, well, why don't you put that on with your outfit or whatever? And I'm like, oh, well, I can't, like like it's, you're mixing, you can't mix brands. And my dad's like, what? Like, what crazy rule is that?
No, yeah, that's important.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the things he said to me, which kind of resonated with me for a very long time, was, unless that brand is paying you,
yeah, you're not a billboard.
Then who says and who cares? Like, and that was a very real ass point of like why we feel like we are like attached to certain brands and like, have loyalty to brands that do not pay us anything.
Yeah, nothing at all.
Like,
that's just capitalism, baby. Like,
good old capitalism.
See right through that shit, please. If you like it because you like it, great. But
yes.
like, don't fall into that trap.
Yeah. And I think, there was a part of my life when like there were certain brands that I would like to wear, or like bags and stuff. Now, again, these were not the brands that people today are doing. Like,
sure.
I still don't know how people afford the things that they are buying, quite honestly.
Yeah.
But like that's your business.
Business.
That is your business.
We won't ask any questions.
But a humble little therapist or creative over here. I don't know how you're doing it, but I see you. But yeah, like I think now I really am more about like personal style. Like it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to have a brand at all. Like I buy stuff off Amazon, whatever. Like if I can make it look cute, yeah, like that's the biggest thing. Like how do you put it together? Like that's what I like to see.
Yeah. I agree. The other thing that came to mind was like as far as interior style, I was seeing a lot of people, and this was huge in like the early 2000s when I was growing up. But I see people like just talking shit on it on TikTok now, and I also agree. I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
What they are referring to is like early 2000s Tuscan. Like it looks like you're in the inside of a fucking Olive Garden or whatever. And it's just like every rich white lady had the kitchen that looked exactly the same. It's like, why is there roosters everywhere? Why are there those glass jars full of peppers that no one can ever eat?
Oh man.
So that is something that like now I'm just recently we've been like looking at houses and stuff. And, you can see a lot of houses that the last time they were updated was the Tuscan kitchen. Everything's so fucking brown.
Yeah.
Like, too much brown.
Yeah.
Like, not into it.
So interesting. It's so interesting to look at like housing trends too, like interior design trends and like where we've come. Like I remember when we were like away with wallpaper, right?
Yes.
And now we're back.
Everybody has
bold
wallpaper.
print wallpaper, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I love it.
But like, also, I was here for down with the wallpaper, like before, because the wallpapers, that like my mother, designed, my parents' house and things like that. They were hot at the time. Like that was the look. Yeah. But now it's like, like that's so dated. Like, oh god, like
even though wallpaper is back, the designs are
very different.
Very different. Yeah.
And so it's interesting to see that, or like you see like a kitchen from the 70s and like somewhat preserved, and it's kind of cool to see because it's so different. Yeah. But also like, all right, let's get rid of all of this.
It looks like someone smoked cigarettes over all of this. Like, why was everyone smoking directly over the kitchen sink?
Listen, oh my goodness, yes. Like I love so HGTV used to be one of my favorite things. Yeah. I still love HGTV, but I just don't see it as I don't have live TV,
right?
So I have to find reruns of stuff or somewhere. But yeah, like I remember. So Design on a Dime used to be the hot shit back in the day.
Yes.
And I remember, being one of the people that were into it. And my stepmom was like, she didn't hate Design on a Dime, but she just didn't like it. She's like, no, I want to watch, and I can't remember this lady's name. I think it's Candace something, or this is like a middle-aged white lady, but like she always did the very elevated designs, like the show that she's like, no, show me the $50,000 makeover.
See,
I want to see that.
I feel like I know where she's coming from, because if I'm watching TV, I want to I
want to aspire. Yeah.
I'm not really just trying to learn anything. I just I want to see the fantasy home.
Yes, give me the very Pisces. Give me the fantasy.
Escapism.
Yes, like don't show me how I can do this with $50. Like I want to see the 50 grands.
Exactly.
Like when I have the money, I want to see what I can do with it.
Yes, exactly.
That was another thing that just always stuck out. Like my mom was like, oh yeah. No, I don't want to see Design on a Dime.
No.
Like show me the rich shit. Like
yes.
But yeah, those are some good questions.
Yeah, so that takes us right into our Pisces moment of the week. Do you have one?
I think I do. Oh, I do. I'm I'm trying to remember it. I wrote something down from it, but I think I remember it.
Okay.
So I told you about this. On my birthday, I had this thought. So because my birthday is March 20th. It is the last day of Pisces. It is also the first day of Aries.
Yes.
And so I was looking at kind of like the transit times. And so it said, the sun moves into Aries at 10:33 a.m. My birthday is at 8:34 a.m. So it's like a couple hours difference. Almost didn't make it, y'all. I was almost to Aries.
We almost had to change the name of the podcast.
Yep. So I was wondering, okay, so the sun is going to transit at different times, just depending. And we know that sometimes the sun transits on different days. So
right.
For Aries, between the 20th and 21st, different signs, different dates. So I was like, well, I wonder if some years, am I in Aries? If the sun transitions into Aries really early in the morning, does that make me an Aries?
Does it? And the answer is...
So what I found out is no. No.
Always a Pisces.
I'm always going to be Pisces because, one, I was born under the sign of Pisces. So regardless of even if the sun transits early, I would still be a Pisces.
Right. Yes.
But that would just be an interesting thing that happens.
Just an interesting little thing.
Yeah, but I don't think there's not a way yet that I have found that I can actually trace to see if the sun has ever transited into Aries before my birth time.
Yeah.
But I'm going to keep looking and seeing if I can find that out. But yeah, still a Pisces.
Okay.
Always going to be a Pisces.
Yes. And that's the Pisces moment of the week.
Yes, that's my Pisces moment of the week.
Yes. So mine is, and I mentioned this to you earlier as well. So I've done what I thought was impossible and gotten my partner into astrology.
Yes.
Came downstairs the other day. He was reading one of the little astrology books, and then he was like, "Hey, blah 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 in this house, and what does this mean?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, we're really getting into it.
We are here for it."
But we were laughing because he was reading through the relatable content post for us that you did on Instagram this week, and was reading all the things. And so the episode that just got released, I think, is episode 4, which is our sex episode. And so he was reading the co-star meme that was like, this sign considers this foreplay, right?
Yeah.
And he was reading through all of them and taking them so literally. And he was just like, well, this doesn't make any sense, because it was like Virgo was like 1,000 thread count sheets.
Oh, yeah,
or
yeah,
something about, touching 1,000 thread count sheets. And he was like, well, wouldn't anybody consider that foreplay? Because you're just like, you're like touching something sensual, and it's like soft and like
oh, Jack,
blah blah.
I love it.
And then he read another one, and he was like, well, why would they say this if not this? And I was just like, you're reading into it too much. Like, try to look at the bigger picture. It was just me going like, so he would read one, and he would say, well, okay, what do they mean by this? And I would like expand it to the bigger picture. So I was like, well, Virgo, they're talking about how they've got very high standards, and that's kind of the joke. And then there was something else. There was one about Leos, and I was like, yeah, it's like they're kind of like, building you up to be, because they like to kind of show off. And so I don't know. It just, I was like kind of extrapolating, and I feel like pulling out these bigger messages, and he was just like stuck on the details, and I was like, no, man, like you gotta just like feel it out and like understand the message.
Definitely understand that there is a level of sarcasm with all of these things. There is a strong sarcasm. Like, 1,000 thread count sheets.
Yeah. But I just felt like such a Pisces, because I just kept saying, like, you're taking it too literally, like, big picture, open your mind. Yes. Like, I just felt like such a fucking Pisces in that moment.
I look similar. I think I told you also, I guess this is also my Pisces moment of the week, that I got to share astrology with some friends.
Yes.
On Sunday, some of my guy friends, or one of my guy friends and his friend. We're all friends now.
Yeah.
You've been to my home, we're friends.
Right. No,
because, we don't just be letting anyone up in the house.
That's right. Says Keith.
Right, especially with him. And he had barks for them too. But yeah, just getting to share astrology. And like, it was very cool because I feel like, so a lot of times guys, I feel like, doubt, or they're like, oh, astrology, like, da, da, da. And they were very open. They were like, yeah, tell me more. Like, okay, look at my birth chart. Like, here, I'm like, do you know what time you're born? Yes. I'm like, oh, wow, you know what time you're born.
That's
okay,
amazing.
let's go. Right.
They just
both
knew
of them.
Off the top of their head.
Yes.
Like, that's pretty rare.
Yes. And just were very open to, like, hearing the different things. I'm like, hey, if you have questions, hit me up. We can answer them on the show. But, yes. I mean, I can also answer them for you. But, like, we're going to answer them on the show. Because we need questions.
Yeah, give us questions, y'all. Give us your
Any questions. Or stories.
Yes.
Tell us your stories.
That's
your mess. I don't know. Just tell us things.
Yes. Stuff for us
Write
to read.
to us.
Let's make it a longer podcast.
Yeah, like even longer. Yes.
Yeah, Keith is like, nah, y'all have been talking enough.
Right, Keith's like, and now we're at the end of the show.
On that note, it is just, we can go ahead and wrap up.
Yeah.
Do you want to give them the Pisces spell out real quick?
The Pisces spell out. All right, so get your pens ready.
Mm-hmm.
Get your keyboards ready.
Yes.
Here we go. SUC.
Mm-hmm.
HAP. I'm like, where am I? Yes. SUCHAPISCES POD @gmail.com. I don't know why I spelled it so weird this week.
That's okay. Maybe we're doing it different for different people. They'd like to hear it differently. The point is,
yes,
that's where you send your stories.
Send your stories.
And that's where we're at on Instagram and Twitter.
Yep, Such a Pisces Pod.
Go follow us.
Follow us.
Send us your mess.
Be friends with us. Send us your mess.
Come back and listen to us again next week.
Yes. You know you love it.
You do. You've made it this far. You definitely love it.
Yes. All right, y'all.
I guess we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Oh. Perfect. Goodbye.
Bye.